welcome to the Exploding Heads Horror Movie Podcast, episode 128.
Wow.
It's a celebration.
5 long years.
5 years. 5
So I
years
got
without a
like Jason. I'm like Jason between part 1 and 2. Or between killing Alice and returning to Camp of Crystal Lake. Or whatever the training camp.
4 seconds in, and it's a Friday reference. 4 seconds in.
So did he kill Alice the same year that Alice killed his mother and then wait 5 years to come back to Packanack Lodge? Or did he wait everything for 5 years?
No, it was 2 months, 3 months, right? It's 2 or 3 months is the mention of after the beheading to when Alice got the ice pick stuck through her beautiful head. And then 5 years later, he just rested. So he's a very peaceful guy.
He's fully grown. He's been fully grown for 5 years.
Yeah.
But how did he get her body back to the shrine?
Same way he hunted her down in the first place. What do you mean? How did he get it back?
He carried her.
So he carried it? Nobody saw him walking from... How far was her house from
It was
Crystal
night.
Lake?
Well, he had a severed head. How did he get... He was walking with the severed head. He was like that guy in Intruder. Oh, here comes old Parker.
Wait a minute. He didn't have a severed head. She didn't have her head cut off.
He took his mom's head and stuck it in her fridge. You think she ordered it from fucking eBay?
Oh, no. B is asking, how did Jason get Alice's body back from the place she was staying, that apartment?
Yeah, but he's saying
Right.
he walked to Alice's apartment with the head and then walked back with the head and her body.
Yeah, he didn't question the fact that he had to get there with the fucking severed head. He only questioned the body.
He probably called Michael to give him a ride there. He was doing pretty damn good last night. I'll give him a call.
Yeah.
If that's your biggest complaint about Friday 2, I can live with that. You know what I mean?
Why did we get top 5 complaints of Friday 2?
Let's do it. I do have some Friday the 13th notes, you know.
Friday 2 will come up on one of my lists tonight.
It's going to come up several times tonight, I'm sure. But the thing is, I have notes from that I've had for months here, and we finally have the time to do this for the 5-year celebration. We can shoot the shit. We have the stuff you guys gave us. There isn't that much Christmas stuff, thank God. It just goes to prove that people are probably as sick of hearing about Christmas horror movies as I am. But, I mean, I have all these notes. Friday the 13th. You know, I never realized until this time watching it, the last time, which was like whatever, in October, that Jason had to have pulled that rope when it wrapped around that kid's foot.
I've always said this. I said those traps don't snag themselves. That was my joke, I think, with Vince way back when on TJF. I've always said, he's had to be there, in the bushes going, oh, here he is. Zook.
I perked already. I know I listened.
Do the sound effects. I think you can hear them.
Oh, here he is. That's why I want a B-roll film of Friday the 13th. I want to see Pamela hoisting up Steve, Christy. I want to see Jason in the bushes. I want all that.
I want to see Pamela hoisting up Chris Christie.
Is that what Alex's fan film's going to be? That should be it. Friday the 13th, B-roll.
Right? It's actually 9 lives, if you can believe that.
Ooh.
And the leading, the final girl is going to be dressed up in a cat outfit, a black cat. So you know I'm all about that. Yeah.
Are you going to save her? Do you come at the end and save her?
Lucky's here.
Yeah, I'm going to save her.
That's it. You're the final girl. She's in distress. Jason wounds her. She's limping away. Then you come driving, and then you see her, and you rescue her.
Where are you going? I'm going back to my loving home. I'm going to take you to my house instead.
I'm going to give her the old Captain.
You don't mind, eh? She's going to stay with me in the bed. I got to nurse her back to health.
Yeah. There you go. That's fucking great. Okay, listen. How the hell, isn't it odd? Do you know any teenager that needs glasses to drive? Usually when you get older, you need driving glasses or night glasses or something. Have you ever known of a teenager that only wears glasses when he drives?
I mean, it depends. It just might be, maybe they have for night vision, or I don't know.
Well, it's daytime. It's daytime.
Day vision?
In the final, huh? Day vision. Yeah.
Day
well,
vision.
in the final chapter, that one kid, Paul's balls himself, when he drives, when you first meet them, and only when he's behind the wheel of a car, he puts glasses on. Isn't that weird? I never noticed it till now.
Let's not forget, he's 65 years old.
Yeah. His balls were already in the lake before he got into the water.
Okay. What about the cheese puff art? I don't know which Friday the 13th movie it is. I want to say it's part 4, but it might be 5. There was a scene when they're talking to someone. There's a guy standing there, and he's sticking toothpicks in cheese puffs, and he's building something. Does that ring a bell with anyone?
Yes, it does. Which one is that?
I don't remember. It's 4 or 5. I'm just judging by my notes and what I was watching. I want to say final chapter.
I remember someone with mashed potatoes making this big sort of like big mountainous thing and saying this means something.
Close encounters. Or how about the mashed potato thing in Christmas Story? Remember he sticks his fork in there? He's right in the middle of the mashed
or
potato.
UHF.
I still haven't seen it.
Oh,
I got to.
that's your
You
on your
see,
January
you
list.
gotta see UHF. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. How about this? Tommy and Trish go out and they meet what's his name for the first time. Fucking,
Gordon.
the failure. Rob Dyer. Then they come home. Then later on in the movie, there's no reason for this to happen. Rob Dyer's out doing his own thing. Mrs. Voorhees comes home and she can't find anybody. Where the hell are Tommy and Trish? Where did they go?
Mrs. Jarvis, you mean?
Yeah, Mrs. Jarvis. What did I say? Mrs. Voorhees?
Isn't that when they went to get the bypass patch cord?
Yeah, no, they had already come back from it. And then they went upstairs. Yeah, remember? Remember they go upstairs. That's when he meets Tommy's mother. Remember? Look, I got a friend, and we came upstairs. They run up the stairs. I got to show you my mask.
No, that's when they come back from. They were driving at nighttime. They were just driving back from. That's when they were driving back from the watering hole after he says, "What a pack of patootsies."
But that's when they go get the bypass patch cord because that's when they meet him, and the car won't start. It's true that they only meet him the one time, and they're driving with them.
What the fuck is a bypass patch cord?
It's for you can only play Zaxxon with it. You have to have it to play Zaxxon.
I can't. I need a bypass patch cord. Hey, shut the fuck up and go make another mask.
Go feed Gordon.
What about a solenoid? You know what a solenoid is?
No. Is that I always wanted it is in the car? And can you put a knife into it to start the car up?
That I don't know, but when I worked at Autos and when I saw a box and it said it was a solenoid, I took a picture of it and I forgot to put it up. But it is a car part that exists.
Is that why you don't work there anymore? This is what you were doing? You're like, I'm gonna like, Dave, quit taking fucking pictures and unpack the fucking solenoids.
I watched Friday 4. I know exactly what to do. Step aside, everybody.
Give me a butter knife.
Hey, Gordon, give me the knife. Give me my butter knife.
And I got to give Part 5 props for a couple things. They brought back the old logo in A New Beginning. It disappeared in Part 3, and it disappeared in the final chapter. The original Friday the 13th logo, they brought it back for A New Beginning, and it made me very happy. And I didn't realize it till this time. Because, when you watch them all in a row, you notice the little differences. I was like,
is your dress falling off? What's
poor guy. He's not feeling good. Full disclosure, right?
He's fucking got COVID. He's in a damp basement.
Totally not. I know. I shouldn't be down here. I'm already feeling it because I'm every time I like crack a bad joke, I'm like lean into the microphone. I'm like, oh, I'm exerting myself.
You should probably stop leaning into the mic. Just hit mute and just sit back.
I will be on mute for most of this, you fucking Finnish prick. And you too, Brandon.
I wonder if he's going to make his top 5 patrons. I think there's a question about that later. I wonder if Marco's going to be in Christian's top 5.
There was a top 5 patrons question?
It was a joke, but I think they wanted to know.
There were some questions that were... Hold on. There were some questions that we were asked that I didn't send as a note because no notes are necessary for it. It's extra work. It's more fun to do it spontaneous. So I didn't...
I'll just do bottom 5 because that's easier.
That is, bottom 5 for sure. Now listen, Friday the 13th. Did you know when Joey gets killed? When they show his body, there's an arm on top of it. So somehow Vic chopped off his arm while he was attacking him, and then they put the arm on top of Joey's body. Isn't that weird?
It was a call to arms.
It was a farewell to arms.
There you go.
Farewell.
Little Evil Dead 2 humor.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love that joke.
It is good.
Frick you.
Yeah.
What else? It's a tough story to write, and it is a tough story to write. If you imagine giving the script for the final chapter, here, Jason's dead in the ground. Start writing here. Considering what they had to do, I think they did a pretty good job. That's the point. You know? What else? Part 5. There's a line in the movie, and it says, "You're a real ass." And the person that answers says, "Better than being a whole ass." What's
Better than being all ass. That
or all
is.
ass. What's the difference? A real ass and all ass is the same thing, no?
Yeah.
Line doesn't make any sense.
Who said
No,
it to
someone
who?
says,
All ass.
Who said it
Yeah,
to who?
I don't remember. I don't have the notes for what movie it's from. I want to say it's part 5 or 6.
I feel like a
6.
Yeah.
I feel like a girl
It's-
said it to a guy, right?
It is.
And
It's in the car in part 6 when they're driving to the camp.
He's
Okay.
basically
Yeah.
just making a comment that she's got a big ass, right?
No! A big ass.
Yeah. You're a real ass, meaning you're a jackass, and then better than being all ass, meaning you got a fat ass.
Oh, thanks, B. Okay, I guess.
That's exactly what it means.
See, it would have made more sense if he said, "You're a real asshole." And then the guy said, "Well, it's better than being a whole ass.
Yeah.
I'm just a whole." You know what I mean?
A hole. A hole.
That's
whole
why I bring
asshole.
these things up, so you guys can clear it up. Okay, so you've done that. Okay, you bang is official now because it says so in the what do you call it? In the freaking I put that on the page. It's not you bang.
Because
You
we
bang.
know how reliable subtitlers are.
I know. I'm using it for my argument. I'm like politician over here.
Yeah.
Well, it says in this instance, you bang. All
Because
right.
some migrant worker stuck in a cage at the border who's probably been made to do these subtitles for Scream Factory wrote, "You bang."
If Ricky Martin did it, it would have been she bangs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and what the fuck? When they were doing that part,
Oh,
when they
God.
were describing to the kids what we're gonna do this year, hey, are we gonna do this? And the other girls are giving her signs. How come at that one point the one girl was doing a chicken dance? What do you think she wanted her to say? You know what I'm talking about. Do you guys want to have fun? Do you guys? And they're giving her signs. Do you guys want to scare the boys? And then one of the girls goes like this. She gives them, like
She
a
was-
chicken dance sign.
She was trying to keep warm because it was the dead of fucking winter and they're at camp for 3 days. It's like, I'm fucking freezing. I want to go home.
It's true. There's more
That's
leaves.
good of it.
It's such a great visual, but like you're supposed to be in summer. Why would you have a shot of the door blowing open and all these leaves coming through?
That's true.
Anyway.
Yeah, you're right. That's a cold play. That's a good answer, though. I'll take it. Okay, and I finally figured out what this girl said. What'd you say? Summer breeze?
I was saying summer leaves. instead of
Summer leaves.
Summer leaves.
Jason, I'm scared out of my mind. Okay. How about what's her name? For years, I always thought that she said, my fucking stepfather and asshole who rented it. But she says asshole in residence. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Did you know that? That's
No,
what she said?
I always thought she said asshole residence, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense. And then I think I brought it up on either this show or something else, and someone told me it was asshole who rented it. And I'm like,
No,
that
well,
makes way
I
more
always-
sense.
Right. Well, I always thought it was asshole who rented it because you could probably rent a fucking camper like that. So that's what I'm thinking. But when you look at the subtitles, it said asshole in residence. Does that mean, that's the way she says, he's my stepfather, I live with him? He's an asshole in residence?
Or that
I
he's
always
in
thought that
university.
too,
and
like the
he's
asshole
living,
resident.
He's living in
Like that
residence at
asshole who lives in
university. Sorry, Brandon, I talked over you like 3 times. I apologize. Raise your hand next time.
I don't
Okay,
care. I
you first.
muted you. You couldn't tell I muted you.
What was your response be? No, he forgot it. Okay, see.
No, I remember. I'm just raising my hand first.
Raise your hands. You got it. Raise your hands. You know it. You feel confident, secure.
Asshole resident.
Yeah.
The asshole resident. Meaning the asshole who resides at my house.
Okay.
It's funny
I guess
because
that is what it.
there's going to be a game coming out. It's called Asshole Resident Evil. It's
Oh shit.
Better to be an asshole Resident Evil than a whole ass Resident Evil.
Oh man.
Okay, just a couple more. So, you're right. She does say Melissa. She says
Melissa.
She 100% says it.
Yeah,
I'm
she
Melissa.
does.
What the fuck, Melissa? You're right.
She had a stroke. That's how Jason didn't kill her. She was already dead by then. She died of a stroke earlier in the film.
Yeah, what the fuck? Melissa. She's a fucking half pig, half girl. You know? Melissa.
I thought she was like trying to meow, like a Melissa meow, like that type of thing. She's the final girl in Alex's movie.
Maybe that is the girl that she did. Oh no, it's not. Sorry, it's not even funny. Damn it. First, I was gonna say maybe that's the girl that got the guest star because there is a Friday girl that's gonna be in this movie. We just don't know who it is. So, but she's passed away, unfortunately. Poor thing. Okay, moving on. Part 8. Where the hell is that dog gonna go potty? How do you bring a dog on a boat on a cruise ship? Could you imagine bringing your dog? Is it gonna take a shit?
Anywhere he wants.
Yeah, that's the answer. You're right. You're going to be on a cruise. You're going to be turning around. Oh, look at the night sky. Oh, what a beautiful night. All of a sudden, turn around, fucking the dog copping a squat next to you.
In the deckhand's mouth. I don't know. It's a good question. There's those two deckhands, eh? There's the old crazy guy that's like the crazy Ralph of the ship. And then there's like that younger, hotter guy that they make reference to like once. And then he shows up dead. And when he's like, I think the guy they shoot by accident when the guy's glasses get blown off by the vents. The vents that just shoot out random steam.
He just broke my glass. He
Yeah.
just blew my glasses off.
He just blew them sky high. And then he just fires. And then they show the guy on the ground. And his head's propped it up. Like, it looks like he's got like a nice pillow behind it so that we can see it nice and clear. And you still don't know who the fuck he is. In the movie.
Why did they do that? Why?
What? You're asking about why they did that.
Over the side of the boat and you squeeze them.
Yeah.
Empty you out. Let's fucking empty you out. Fucking. What's the dog's name in Nate?
Toby.
Oh.
Toby. Come on, Toby. Let me see
dog
you.
ever.
Yeah.
We should have
Worst dog
top
ever.
5 worst animals. We have top 5 animals. If top 5
dog
worst
ever.
animals would be a question, Toby would be top of that list. He was a useless dog, did nothing, and then on top of it, did a scare at the end, which was stupid. Never should have happened. Come on. Anyway, I figured out why what's-her-name did not want to grow on the boat. Why that asshole didn't want his niece to be on the boat, because he figured her being there on the water, it was going to bring back the memories of when he pushed her in the water as a kid. Makes sense, huh?
That does make sense. Yeah.
Yeah, thought about that. Now, speaking of part 8, I can explain Jason turning into a boy at the end. Now it makes sense. The girl was on heroin. She fucking imagined all this. It was in her head already about young Jason chasing her and everything else. She got shot up by heroin by those junkies in the street. And this is only half an hour later. She's high as a fucking kite.
Yeah.
So that didn't happen.
I wish I was when I watched it.
Why did she have to? Yeah. Why did she have to imagine him as an Asian boy?
Yeah. Couldn't she have imagined him in a good movie?
Yeah. You can't do that.
Why can't she hallucinate a better movie? We should do that. Alternate hallucination endings. There's more B-roll footage. There's so much B-roll that we could do.
Teflon B-roll.
I do like, though, that the drug dealers are not white, because that I wanted it to be very close to home and make sure that it was politically correct.
I thought the one guy was what's his name from Creepshow 2 at first. I thought it was fucking the native guy. You know what I mean? This hair's gonna get made and made.
You don't realize how racist it kind of is. It is just from a time capsule standpoint. Like the second they get to New York, they get robbed. But it's great. I love it.
It is pretty bad, but I don't care. I wasn't offended by it as someone who an asshole in residence of New York. You know, I don't fucking care. Shit on New York if you want. It's not gonna hurt my balls. You know. So okay.
What about Paul's balls?
Balls! One more note. Freddy vs. Jason. Freddy says something in the beginning about the children still feared me, so I was able to invade their dreams. Okay, that doesn't make any sense because in the original Nightmare on Elm Street 1984, the children didn't even know who the fuck he was. There was nobody to fear, and he still invaded their dreams. So, just thought
I mean, that's what happens when you get to like the 10th movie or whatever.
I know.
For Nightmare or whatever. I guess it's the 8th, whatever the fuck movie it is for Nightmare on Elm Street.
It's the 11th Friday, right? I guess. Yeah. Although, do you guys really count that? Like, if there's a Friday the 13th movie, do you feel comfortable with them calling it Friday the... I wish they would call it that, but they're not going to. It'd be worth it for the gimmick. Because since I was a kid, I wanted to see that and hear it. You know, Friday the 13th, part 13. It would be amazing. I don't think it's going to happen if they make another movie, but do you think that there really should be 13 Friday the 13th? Because does Freddy vs. Jason and the remake actually count?
Yeah, they'll count them. They'll count them. And
but do you think
they won't call it Part 13, but they'll market it as Part 13. All the marketing will be surrounded by that. But yeah, I'd rather them count those than the fucking Never Hike Alones.
Oh, sure. I mean, do you consider okay, how many Alien movies are there? You know what I mean? There's Alien, Alien 2, 3, whatever the fuck, what is it called? Resurrection, whatever the fuck that thing's called. And then...
Yep.
Okay, so you got those, and then you got Prometheus, and you got Alien Covenant, right? Okay, so what's that, 6 movies? Do you really say 8 movies because of the 2 Alien versus Predator movies? I don't think you do. Does anybody say that? Oh, this is part fucking... If they make another Alien, are they going to say it's part 9? I don't think so.
No, you're right.
No, but they count them as part of the franchise because they feature... aliens.
Yeah, but do they, though? That's what I'm trying to say. Does anybody say that? And, Predator.
Do they, though?
How many Predator movies are there? Are you going to say there's 4, or are you going to say there's fucking 6?
To catch a Predator.
They should...
Wouldn't it be fun? Wouldn't it be fun? Chris Hansen? Chris Hansen brings a Predator in?
That should be our movie.
That should be.
That'd be a great skit. To catch a Predator. And he goes down there, and Predator comes in.
It has to have been done. Someone has to have done that already.
No way. I would have seen that. And he sits down and he has some sweet tea, because there's always sweet tea waiting in the kitchen. Sit down, have yourself a drink of some sweet tea. So, what were you going to do with the duct tape, the shovel, the rope that you brought? Oh, I was just coming to check on her, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Holy shit. Oh, man. Okay, well, that's all the Friday the 13th talk. I've had those notes for a while, and we finally have time to talk about it. Thanks to you guys, because you guys voted for us to have a bullshit type show. And
this is going to be full of bullshit, that's for sure.
That's okay. Happy holidays and happy 5 year. It's awesome. It really, I'm thrilled. And one more thing. I watched Black Christmas the other day, and I had to figure it out for my damn self. I've been asking you two, and I've been complaining for years about it, and no one's given me a definitive answer, and I figured it out for myself. And my rating has gone up a little bit because
that's all that matters.
I have figured out the reason why Peter went to the window and started bashing the fucking thing to go in. Remember, that was one of my big complaints. Why would he do that? Because they're not answering the door. He immediately is going to think basement and go down there and start attacking and smashing the window. What sense does that make? And nobody could ever give me an answer. I figured it out last night. When the killer runs away and is chasing her, she runs wherever the hell she runs. She stabs, whatever the hell happens. She runs, and she's screaming in front of the door. She's trying to get out. And remember, they allude to it twice throughout the movie. They let you know there's something wrong with that door. Right? So now she can't get out of the door. The door is stuck, and she doesn't have time to fuck around. So she runs in the basement. She's already been screaming. So now when she gets down there, as soon as she gets down there, you hear a door slam. Now, what you're hearing is Peter heard her screaming. Open the front door, because there's 2 doors. There's the first door, then there's that little space they walk, then there's the second door, okay? He opened the first door tried to get in the second door and it was stuck. Realized she was screaming and tried a desperate way to get in, so he went to the basement windows. So I answered it for myself.
2 out of 10 now.
8.5. I've gone up. It's 8.5 now. It'll probably be like in my top 15 instead of my number 22. So it's gone up. Still don't like it at all that they don't search the thing. They know there's bodies there, and they found the others, and they don't think to look around the house for other bodies. Makes zero sense. And also, I noticed this time that Margot Kidder, she's so paranoid about the calls that are coming in and everything else, and that the girl's missing and all that shit. She goes to the cops to get help and gives them a fake number. The old FE joke, the fellatio. So if you're that fucking scared and you want help from the cops, why would you give them a fake number to call for help? It doesn't make any sense. But anyway.
It's 1.5 out of 10.
It's still, I still went up, so you guys should be, happy about it. 8.5. I've gone up.
You're talking about the 2019 one, everybody.
I saw it. I watched all 3 of them. I finally saw it. Yeah. And Christian, I'm with you. I don't know what you rated. Well, hold on. It's not good. It's like a 4 out of 10. I just don't think.
I gave it a 6 to 6.5, like in that range. 6 out of 10. Yeah.
Okay, now with you, and I don't think it was as heavy-handed as I was expecting it to be. I see what's going on there, and obviously it's in your face as can be, but I don't. There's going to be more on that on another show coming out, so I won't get into it here, but I'll just say it's a 4 out of 10.
That smells like a WotC episode.
Am I WotC? I'm just making sure I'm not on that episode.
Yeah.
Not. It recorded last night. No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think I was on then.
Nope.
No, I don't like. No, you're still in the failure zone, and I said, well, I enjoyed it for what it was. I ignored, like I said, it was like a 6. I haven't watched it since. I keep saying I was going to rewatch it. I will rewatch it. I've watched the 2006 already. I plan to rewatch the 2019, and of course, I saved the original closer to Christmas. So,
I think I gave it like a 6, also 5.5, 6. I didn't think it was that bad.
Yeah. It's what was happening is people were saying it was crap. It was absolutely the worst, the bottom of the barrel. I'm like, it's not that bad.
No, yeah, it's not that bad.
It's not that good, but I've seen a lot worse. That's all I'm saying. I just don't. The way people were talking about it, I was expecting it to have no redeeming qualities and just be a freaking a political vehicle. Everything, like there was that one character, yes, but I was expecting every female in the movie to talk like that one character talked. You know, that one girl that basically spearheaded everything and had, the problem with the teacher and everything else. Everything she said, yes. But the way people spoke about it when I listened to podcasts and I heard people talking, I thought that's what the entire movie was going to be from every character, every female character from jump. And it was, yes, it was heavy-handed, but it wasn't extremely heavy-handed. At least that's not what I thought.
The opening kill, if it was gory, it would be amazing. It's just very good without the gore. It's just it's well done. But if you had the gore into it, it would have been great.
Yep, I agree. It was a good start to it. I was like, number one, it looks better than I thought it was going to look. It's shot well. It looks good. That's a good opening kill with the snow angel thing and being dragged off. I'm like, okay, I'm on board for the moment. Didn't last, but whatever. I just Black Christmas. There you have it. So, okay. We have a lot of questions. I'm going to just start at the top. I'm going to go to the Patreon page, and we're gonna do this in order, and then we're gonna break it up. We're not just gonna go question. But so here's what we have.
Let's just rattle these fuckers off and be out of here in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds like a celebration to me.
Yeah. That's what we deserve for 5 years. Let's go back to bed because we're recording at fucking 9:30 a.m. because we're all 97 years old.
Yeah. And I barely put my teeth in.
What's that?
I'm exhausted. I went to bed at like 3 last night, and here I am.
Yeah, me too. I couldn't fall asleep till really late. I'm gone like 3 hours, 4 hours.
I was recording. So I recorded for fucking hours last night, went to bed, and here I am again recording.
And you were recording with Watson. You must be really tired.
I didn't say I was.
I'm just assuming based on the fact that you're drinking a big unmarked drink.
It's a coffee. This is my. See, it's a what's this? It's a Contigo. You know what a Contigo is?
How do you kick the what out of what Z? That'd be fantastic if you just continued the show. But he wasn't on it?
Z.
Z.
Welcome to the Z party.
Yeah.
Z party. Welcome to Z party.
It can finally be called Cult of Z instead of the Cult of Z party.
I'm gonna teach my daughter to produce. That's what I'm gonna do and edit, and then we'll have our own show. We'll have a Cult of Z, me and Frank. Speaking of Frankie,
she could also have a position on the show.
She probably would be better than me. She's
I was referring to me, but that
means him.
Yeah.
Oh.
What?
Dave Z. 5 years later.
Yeah. Okay.
Traditional.
So as you guys know, I've been collecting a VHS, and it's gotten out of hand. But I'm still not paying those top-notch prices. But some things go for real high prices. For example, Faces of Death, the original, the one that I used to see on the shelf when I was a kid, one that I picked for my top 20 covers, by the way. The black, well, I should just bring it out. Either way, it's the black VHS, and there's a skull face on the front, and it's Faces of Death. They were all re-released later on with cartoon covers, and they were terrible. But either way, that thing sells a lot of times for like $200 normally, the clamshell and the regular, because it's very rare and whatever. And you can't sell it on eBay at all. It's illegal to sell it on eBay. Even though it's supposed to be fake, you can't sell it there.
Oh.
Because, what it says, there's the real people getting killed, I guess. So anyway, going back to that, Faces of Death. I've been buying on this site called Mercari, Mercari. Is anyone familiar with that? No? Okay. Well, it's people put things for sale on there. Mercari. It's like Etsy, but it's an app, and it's just people sell shit. So I for a while I was checking every day. I'm building my collection up, and I'm stocking all my shelves, and it's turned out real nice. It's good. It's fun. So once there, and what's so funny? What is it?
I'm just thinking that, have you watched it? Someone probably just photocopied the cover, made a little box for you, and then filmed a bunch of deaths, and then stuffed it into the VHS. And you probably bought. I mean, we've never heard of this site before. It's probably like a real snuff film that you've got in
Yeah, you bought a video of some guy murdering his whole family. You have the evidence.
I haven't watched it, but I'm getting to that. But I did look at it. It does say Faces of Death. It really does. Yeah. Damn it, I gotta look.
Faces of my family's death. Are you okay there? Uh-oh. That sounds like a dry cough.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I think.
Well, look. There it is. See, that's the cover.
Yeah.
Faces
that looks about 98% legit.
Okay. Banned in 46 countries. Gorgon video. Okay. Hold on now. Have I taken it out? I don't know, because I don't care. There you go. Look at that.
Ooh.
It's
FBI
legit.
wanted.
So anyway, the reason I get this, number one, I get it for this, but the reason I was able to acquire this for a decent price was this. I was shopping on Mercari maybe 3 or 4 times. One day they sent me a coupon, and it says spend $50, get $20 off. So ultimately, cool. I can spend 50. I can spend 50. Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
So now
Brandon got that math.
Do it though. But no, that very day. Now I have been looking. I had seen it come up. I saw it on Mercari before for $200. I saw it on the Facebook Marketplace for $200, 150 plus. People are really. It's a real sought after thing. Okay, whatever. So now that day I get a coupon. The thing pops up and it says Faces of the Death $50. And I said, holy shit, exactly $50. Can I spend $30 for this real sought after thing that I want? So, well, I'm going to answer that question by putting it on a credit card. Not even putting it, not taking it out of my, of course, the credit cards, ultimately, I'm getting whacked completely. But I'm just more comfortable putting that on a card than taking the money out of my checking account. So I buy the damn thing for $30. And I'm really happy about it. And it arrives, and I show my daughter. I said, Frankie, look at this. Now she...
We're watching this Christmas night.
It's a gore hound now.
Yeah.
Well, she would. Let me tell you, this girl, since I showed it to her and told her what it was, she has not shut up about it. She has become a gore hound, and when she found out that it was real gore, those were her words. She is just like I was at 14. She's like, real gore? When are we going to watch Faces of the Death Dead? She has been asking me this every day for the past 2 weeks. Can you believe that shit? She wants to watch it.
The only downfall is there was always intrigue. I'm not going to lie that there wasn't intrigue when I was younger. But then I'd watch one of these things, and I just felt hollow, and I felt empty, and shame. It was like it was horror. I just hated it. I hated the feeling of watching it. But I'm not going to deny that there was intrigue there. But when it's real, I don't know. It's like you're.
Let's be honest. You hated the fact that you had an erection. You're like, no, why? Why? Shame.
Let me just rub this shame out. Yeah. Since you're here.
Since you're here.
Yeah.
I'm
not even going to pause the video.
Oh, shit.
But no,
it was a big deal, though. I remember at the time.
Oh, it was.
Take her through the video nasties.
I'm gonna. She's a gore hound, and number one, she has no time. Like, this girl is working from fucking 8 in the morning, 7 in the morning to freaking 8, 9 at night doing homework. Her entire life, this remote learning. This girl, I feel bad for her because it's her. It's like she has a job. It's like she has an office job somewhere. Her eyes are on the computer for fucking 10 hours a day. It's ridiculous. Granted, her grades have been great, so thank goodness. But
now, where's the rest of her?
Bingo. So yeah, she wants to watch Face of the Death. I do have a VHS right here in front of me, but I'm thinking most of it's been determined that it's fake now. At the time, we thought it was all real. And I remember that we have part 1, part 2, part 3, all on the shelf. It's very, very nostalgic for me when I think of the video store as a kid, seeing those 3 movies, the way they looked. It's something about it. It was a big deal for us to watch those movies, and it's just, it was what it was. They even had the knockoffs. They had Traces of Death. They had one called Death Faces. It was a thing, People were into it. And we were, at that age, we wanted to see it. Just like my daughter said, oh, real gore? Nowadays, I don't want to see that.
I'm the same way. As a kid, we definitely sought those out. But you knew it was fake when you got to, like, part 3 or 4, and you're like, oh, my God, this guy died again? He's going to die this time.
I just remember one guy parachuting into an alligator farm. But I do also remember that one.
Parachuting into an alligator farm.
And I'm pretty sure that was the monkey brains. That's fake?
Too. That sounds like Deadpool.
I don't know if they faked it. Because do you actually see the thing hitting the monkey's head, or do you just see them going like that?
You're the one that bought the fucking tape. You tell me.
I guess I'm going to have to watch this movie.
The monkey scene in yours is from Monkey Shines. Like, oh, look at this poor guy in a wheelchair. He's getting killed by a monkey.
Why won't that monkey jerk him off? Oh, he's paralyzed.
And for me, this is it. I don't care about the fucking movie. I'm buying them for the boxes. I don't care about the fucking movie. I care about the nostalgia of the box. That's why I'm into this. These other people that are paying top dollar for all this stuff, that's fine. Salute. It's your money. Do what you want to do. I'm not going to spend $200 on any fucking VHS. I don't give a fuck if there's not one thing I can think of that I would spend that much money on for any VHS.
Just don't join one of these weird VHS Facebook groups where these guys are shirtless, cutting open their VHS tapes. It's very weird. These people are strange. These people, like, I don't want to judge, but fuck, these people are weird.
They're sensitive motherfuckers. Yeah. When I first started looking for boxes, because I said, before I had this idea to do this, before the shelves came into my life, this is like 6 months ago, I wanted a wallpaper, any open spot in this room downstairs, with my own wallpaper, just of VHS box art. You know what I mean? Just have it everywhere. So I was asking people, do you know anyone that sells these VHS boxes? And all I want is the box, and I'm only, seeking these for the box because I want to cut them and put the things in the wall. These people, I might have told you guys this already on the show, and if I'm repeating myself,
you can't say that.
They acted as if I said I want to fucking shit on your dog and piss on your mother. These motherfuckers. They really, I got kicked out of the one place just for politely asking questions about if I can do it. It was like they were that much offended that I was destroying fucking something beautiful.
Yeah, honestly,
like the Bible or something.
Honestly, those people are the worst. I hate those people.
Yeah, it's not cool. Yeah, I can't get back in that one group. Like now that I'm actually collecting
22
VHS,
shots,
I'll buy them.
JP's like, quit coming at me sideways. You can't be cutting up VHS boxes.
Dave Parker wears a shirt.
Hey, homie, I grew up with them. I grew up with the VHS era. Who are these guys? These guys some of them are born in the 90s. You're going to tell me you have a type of feel for VHS? I was literally there. They had them in my hand. It's a huge part of my childhood. So
Pull
if
that
I'm
age
okay
card.
to cut open a box, I'm just saying.
Cut to 1986, a baby Dave cutting VHS boxes on the carpet on Christmas morning.
Don't you wish you had video of that and you just post it on that page? Fuck you. Cut them up. What are you going to do, motherfuckers? Let's just post videos of us cutting up VHS. Instead of unboxing, we're cutting boxing.
Yeah.
Cut boxing.
Get Faces of Death out. Let's destroy it right now. And post it on there.
Set it on fire.
Yeah.
Everything.
Fuck you. Fuck your page. Fuck everybody on this group.
Oh my God, they'd be crying. Oh.
Yeah.
You can't do that. Oh,
Beautiful.
I don't know how we even got on that Z thing, but I mean, she has been asking me about it, and it's so weird. I'm like, wow, you're just like I was when I was a kid, you know? But except she gets good grades, so I'm not fucking with that, you know? Anyway, let's get back to these questions here, or start the whatever the hell they are. Okay. Ideas. A couple. Okay. So Jill kicked this off. I got to give her credit. She says, since the 5-year mark celebrates you guys in the show, would be cool if you each said a little bit about your favorite horror movie of all time and gave insights as to why it's your personal favorite. Also, top 5 lists to mark the 5-year anniversary, like your favorite 5 shows you've done, 5 favorite moments recording, etc. And then it all took off, and everybody started doing the 5 because like that's a great idea, and I asked for them, and then so there we go. So I guess we could start at the top. Favorite movie and why?
Favorite movie?
Well, yeah, isn't that what you said? Since the 5-year celebrates you guys in the show, would be cool if you each said a little bit about your favorite horror movie of all time and gave insights as to why it's your personal favorite. Yeah.
Well, you didn't show me that on...
We've kind of said a lot on it.
Yeah. Well, you sent
because
us the
that's
list.
Not a top 5.
Ah, okay. Sweet
I sent you a list of the top 5 that I thought required thought. Something like this, I think, is more spontaneous, and it's better if it's spontaneous, I feel. So I didn't...
I always go... I'll start it off. I always go with Silence of the Lambs, if you count it as horror, as my favorite horror. I think it's pretty easy to see right now that, based on 5 years of recording, that the films that I tend to love the most within the genre are well-written and have strong characters. And that's what Silence of the Lambs is. And I think that's the reason why some people don't consider it horror. It's because these characters are so well developed, and the horror is almost feels secondary, even though it is pretty graphic and pretty in your face. So I mean, for me, I have no question. But when people are like, "Oh no, it's a police procedural," what the fuck does that mean? The police are in every horror movie because they're investigating the fucking horror, and they have to follow procedures. So every fucking horror movie is a police procedural.
You know what that means? It means that person's a fucking asshole. It's the same person that goes, that's a 2019 horror film. You can't have that on your 2020 list. If they were a character in a movie and they got killed, the whole audience would cheer. That's what that person is.
It's funny you bring that up. I gotta say something about that because you said something about the 2019 and 2020. And I was talking to Heather recently, and I said, do you believe how much people get annoyed about the facts that movies that came out in 2019 2020 were actually made in 2019? Well, they want the movie made after it comes out? You gotta make a movie. They can't make a movie and have it released a week later. It takes a year.
Who's mad? This happens
every year. It's like, oh, this movie says 2019. Is this count as 2020? Yeah, they made it last year and they released it this year.
Yeah, hello.
That's how movies work.
a wide release again because of the way we're doing it. A part of retrospect, when we go back and you're 10 years down the road and you're looking back and you might be doing year 2020, that's where it becomes a little gray. But right now, there's movies that were made in 2019 that might have not gotten a release until now. It's just the way it works, like you said, or limited release.
There were people.
Yeah.
There were movies made in 2018 or 17 that didn't get releases to this year. That's how the movie industry works.
Yes.
That's why we had movies like A Record of Sweet Murder on our lists last year. It was made in like 2016 or 15 or whatever. It might have even been 14. When are
you going to talk about it? When can you put it on a list? Right. There's no other time to do it. The first year it's released, that's when you can watch it and talk about it.
That's why Dave had Fright Night on his list 2 years ago. Silence of the Lambs, strong characters that you relate to, you cheer for, cheer against. It's an ongoing theme with me, and I noticed it again with this year, even doing rewatches now, and even watching some of the newer films. There was one film in particular, I don't want to blow my load, but people are blowing it, and I thought it was a really good film. I only watched it once. I thought it was really good, gave it a decent first score. I could actually see it going up, especially if I get to see the uncut version at some point in the future. But I didn't feel like the characters were as developed as they could have been to make this film even stronger. And that to me is like make or break that good film to a great film. And that's why Silence of the Lambs stands out. Because, between obviously Hannibal, who has like 10 minutes of screen time total and freaking just steals the show. And then certainly, Clarice, Buffalo Bill, just so many little side characters throughout the whole film. Chilton, everyone. Barney
Fife?
Dinosaur.
Barney Rubble. Okay, I've been talking about this. I just talked about it like a few shows ago. How last time I watched Halloween, I realized that it was the one movie that beginning to end, there's not a time when I tail off at all. I'm never bored for a second. It's just the way it is. It's just the way the movie is executed. There's always something for me that even a simple conversation, I don't know. I've seen it so many times. It's just ingrained. I'm just like, okay, I'm along for the ride. And obviously, what else can you say about John Carpenter's Halloween? We had shows on it. We talked about it all the time. And before that, for me, it was The Shining. And it's the same stuff. There's just two completely different movies. But I mean, just the nuances of them. Everyone knows about Halloween and the soundtrack and the characters. And it's so simple. But there's just something about it that no other movie works just that way to me, especially a slasher. Nothing has everything. This has Loomis. It is, and there's so much unintentional comedy in this movie that it just comes at me from all angles. There's always something going on there. There's familiarity. There's freaking, good kills, a mass killer, an amazing soundtrack, characters that I actually like that are, relatable, and it is what it is. I don't even know what else I could say about Halloween. But,
Well, we did a whole show on it, everybody. So go check it out. And
we did.
It's like a love-hate for this question because the top 5, top 10, I feel like they could always be interchangeable. But I always come back to 2 movies. And I always flip-flops. And I'm
cheating already. First question.
No, I didn't say, I'm going to just go down to the one movie. But this time, when I get asked the question, I'm going to say Dawn of the Dead. Because it's either Dawn of the Dead or the other, and it always flip-flops, it seems. And I just love this film. Always have.
You like the others that much?
I love Nicole Kidman.
Best twist ending.
But Dawn of the Dead in the original version is my favorite cut. The one that was released to video. I saw the zombie attack scene at someone's 7th birthday. And I couldn't believe we were watching it. You're talking about Faces of Death. I was watching this going, holy fuck, is this real? Like, I mean, I knew it wasn't real because it was zombies, but the effects to me blew my fucking mind away. I was like, I don't think I can eat the birthday cake. Like, I'm going to be sick.
Please get your goodie bag and leave my party, you dumb shit.
So then it was one of those things where I'm like, I don't remember the title of the movie. And then years later, when I actually got into horror, 2 years later, whatever it was, it was that finding that was the movie. That was the zombie movie that did it. And fuck, do I still love that movie to this day. Stock soundtrack, Goblin soundtrack, everything.
Dawn is giving head.
It's awesome.
Dawn is giving head. This isn't the right copy.
It's awesome. And I didn't even get into The Shining, but I go back and forth, as you guys know. But again, we did a show on that. We did a show on Halloween, and hell.
I don't remember.
We
You
have
guys
not.
You guys rarely ever talk about Halloween or Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Rarely. Like, it rarely comes up.
And we haven't talked
I'm
about
feeling
Dawn
the
of the Dead.
urge. We haven't talked about what? We haven't talked about Dawn of the
We
Dead.
never reviewed the memories.
No.
Let's talk about the box set. Who got it?
Not yet.
Not me. I'm not spending that kind of money.
Not
It's
me
4K
either.
though. I want it.
get
I want
Too
it.
much money.
It is expensive.
I'm not doing it. I wanted to do it, but I mean, I'm not going to watch the other cuts. I've already seen them on DVD. I have the DVD set,
Yeah,
and
as do
honestly, I prefer the extended cut. That is the one. It's just the extended cut. I don't care for the Argento cut. There's some things wrong with it. The way it's edited, the music, it doesn't fit in right.
The way Argento keeps showing up at every 4 seconds saying, "I'm Dario."
Yeah.
That's
Scusi.
Scusi, Super Dario Brothers.
So I don't know. I do want to have it on 4K. Maybe someday I'll get it as a gift or something. But I can't see myself spending that kind of money.
It would be nice if they released like the cuts individually, so you could just be like, well, at least just the standard cut.
Or the freaking extended, which is just a standard with some extra stuff, but it fits in perfect. You know? Yeah. I have this one cut, and it's all cuts in one. It was a bootleg DVD, and I have it. It's called, I forgot what it's called, something Mall. Either way, it's all the cuts, everything assembled in is one long movie.
It's 36 hours long.
It's pretty interesting. It is pretty long.
You started at night, and it is dawn by the time you're done.
Nice. Okay. 5-year mark. Okay. 5 favorite shows. I think we get these questions a lot, and we can never seem to like shows. I think is easy. The top 50 show is always going to be. I was just talking about in this podcast last night how much went into it, and it's something that it's a good achievement. I think that no other show had done it. But I would say the top 50 show, the top 100 show.
Yep.
You know, is the other big one. Then I'm gonna say the year of the franchise had some really, really great shows. The Friday the 13th and the Halloween, and I'm gonna say the Paranormal Activity. I'm gonna go off the beaten path a little bit because nobody else has done it yet, where they did it all. And I think we got deep in the weeds on that show and got into it. And that's it. That's my 5.
That's weird. I mean, obviously I picked the 100 and the 50 slasher show, but I didn't pick anything from the franchise year because that year almost killed me. Instead, I kind of cheated a little, and I just kind of put year-end show as kind of one show because those are always my favorite to do because I love to watch so many new films. And then I went 2 specific episodes. Episode 7, our Southbound review. I just loved reviewing that film. And episode 54 for Carrie, which was one of my favorite reviews that we did. We also did Tragedy Girls, that show, which you know how I feel about Tragedy Girls. I do not love it, but the Carrie review always stood out, and Southbound always stood out.
I'm with you guys.
What do you think about extracurricular?
I liked extracurricular. I believe I told you to watch it.
Just want to know.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll probably talk about it at some point next show. Okay, just when you said Tragedy Girls, I thought of extracurricular. I want to know what you thought about it.
Is that 2020?
Yeah,
okay.
I really like it. It is.
Uh-huh.
Oh, there's
It's
another
on
one I have to add
Prime.
to the fucking list. I've tried to cut down my list, not add to it.
Damn.
Anyway. What do you mean, damn? You know how I'm at like 90.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm at 234.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it fails in comparison to him, but that's.
Nah, it's ridiculous. I did way too many. I always do too many.
I really like that 40 Years of Horror. That was, I think, our first really big show, episode 10. So that one always sticks out as just being like, now that's horror and everything else. That's what I think that came out before And we thought that's what that show needed to be called. Now that's horror. Of course, the 50 slashers, because of just how much we did for that. The Top 100 show was great. I also remember the French Extreme show. I think it was episode 20 or 25. And the and the Proto Slasher episode.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was fun too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good show too.
yeah.
I would have said Green Room, but that was the episode Merriman fell asleep on.
And there's no question I love the Friday
Sleep on
13th episodes. The Friday 13th episodes, I mean, we talk about them enough on the show, as Brandon already joked a bunch of times already today. Those are epic. I love them too, but I was trying to
Those were
think.
not jokes.
Yeah. Trying to think outside of that, what are the ones that stand out? They do seem to be the big shows. I also remember, if I had to add a sixth one, that Sleepaway Camp, because that was the first franchise one we did.
Dude, Sleepaway Camp was a fucking blast. In fact,
That was the one I
felt
did
like I
with the
had
first
none
one
of
we
this
did, I
here.
think, in this house. So
What? In
yeah,
my
that was
house?
I think
Nightmare on Elm Street.
No, but my house was Sleepaway Camp, the one I'm in now.
and
In your house. I'm
the
sorry,
house
I
I'm
was
in right
mine.
now was Final Girls / Alone in the Dark.
His house.
Episode 1. In my house. Nice. Okay. Chris, a.k.a. Scott, had a nice suggestion, but we decided not to watch anything. But he said head-to-head of the Tales from the Crypt 72 versus the 89 Christmas episode.
Yeah.
Which
I like
would have been
both.
cool. But you know what I noticed about the 89 episode? The picture of him on the cover looks like Alfred E. Newman. You know Alfred E. Newman from Mad Magazine? If you put him in a Santa hat, that's what the killer looks like to me. It's weird.
Well, it's Larry
Just
Drake,
some
right?
food for thought.
Yeah, it was Dr. Giggles, right?
Yeah. That's who
Well,
it is.
I'm telling you, look at that picture.
No, you're right. You're right, Dave. I just was.
Well, the
You
70,
look at it. You saw that?
Oh yeah.
the 72 one's scarier. I think played more straight, and the 89 one has its moments. It's just goofier, but I still love it. Like it's goofy fun, but and it had scares as well. But for whatever reason, the 72 one's definitely just more like straight laced, straight edge.
Yeah. Straight edge, yes.
I enjoy
No,
both, but I would
me
probably
too.
give a slight edge to 72.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I'm and she is stunning. She is so beautiful in that movie. My lord. Okay. Anyway, this is good. Roberto says, I think a little bit of everything you guys usually do. Feature review, triple R's, list / rankings, questions, talk about Lucky.
Triple R's. Remember those? What happened
Yeah.
to Triple R's?
Maybe we can bring them back next season when we have more time to kill.
Yeah.
You know, now we have the option. Why not?
Interesting.
At our leisure. Now we're not going to say somebody give us $6 and we'll watch a movie for triple. No, it's just whatever.
Each
of us
$6. We'll talk about whatever the fuck we want to talk about.
Yeah, and they'll enjoy it. They'll enjoy the show.
Sounds good.
What B?
I
C?
like it.
Sorry.
No, I just said sounds good.
Yeah.
What, are you reading a novel over there? You want to flip those pages any lateral? Fucking, you want to get some Stacy's pita chips like Dave normally does? The fucking loudest snack of podcasting.
Yeah. Okay. Well, speaking of animals,
Quirks.
speaking of Lucky, here's our first top 5, and this is funny because my wife actually freaking flipped me a couple hours ago and changed my idea on what I was gonna do.
Oh, I almost.
My
What do you
my
do?
wife
What
walks
happened?
down. My wife walks down here. We go, and she's just like shaking her head, going like, "Why am I married to you?" To give me a refill of coffee, though. Like, it's such the sweetest thing. I love you, honey. But she's just the look of just disappointment on her face. To walk down here, we go. It's just like you're fucking 46. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
It's always the worst part to walk in. It's like when you're watching a movie.
Yeah.
Christian's the wrench of his family.
Oh,
It's like
Whew.
this fucking wrench here.
That's a good move, though. She brought him coffee. Oh, damn.
I know. I needed it.
She left it at the top of the stairs.
Yeah. You fill it up.
Doesn't want to get near him.
She's like, I'd rather be married to Marco.
Okay, let's... Speaking of animals.
Finish fuck.
Okay.
Speaking of animals.
At least he can. At least he can finish.
Awesome. Awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, top 5. Okay, check it out. This one, okay, this is some of the ones that Roberto brought to the table. Top 5 animals in horror. Now, I had this all set and ready, and I spoke to my wife this morning because I had an idea about something, and I mentioned her. It was crazy because I go, yeah, I got to talk about my top 5 animals, and I asked her a question. I said, honey, I go, do you know the name of the cat in Dr. Sleep? And she said, that's the reason I brought it up to her. And she goes, no. And she goes, so what are your top 5 animals? And then she rattled off 2 right away that are on my list. I'm like, wow, this woman knows me. Then I thought I had my list set. Then the next half an hour, she goes, well, did you put this one on there? That's definitely one of your favorite animals. I was like, oh, no, I didn't. So I had like 5, and then I had to change it. And, oh, man, what a time I had with this one. But
now, I want to know something. Like, I'm interested to hear your list. So do you go with, like, animals with specific names in films? Go with more, like, animals, like maybe a killer animal within a film, like kind of
Whatever you want. It's your top 5.
Oh, I know what he's saying though. He's asking, what are you gonna go? Cat, dog, elephant, fucking.
No, are you gonna go like elephant from Night of the Elephants, or you know what I mean? Like, or are you gonna go like Gordon from
What's the difference? It's the same exact comparison you're making. Elephant from Night of the Elephants.
I want to see that film, that Night of the Elephants. I don't know why I just didn't think about this.
That was a horse. I don't even know what the fuck that sound was. Put it this way. Whatever I'm doing now is not helping my marriage.
Right. My wife should have walked in right now. I'm going.
She might give you more suggestions for your list.
I'm gonna have an aneurysm. Blood vessel.
Well, I'll just tell you what I did then. Maybe that'll answer your question. I picked specific animals. Some are good and some are bad, but I happen to love them all. You know?
Let's hear it.
So, okay. Man, this is tough. I got to narrow this down to 5 now because, like I said, my wife said things. She goes, they have to be. That has to be. I know. I've heard you talk about it.
Give the honorable mentions.
Okay, I'll give honorable mentions, but I guess the top 5, I'll go backward. Nah, it doesn't matter. Number 1.
I'm gonna go from 1 to 5.
Number 1 actually is an animal that I have to give a lot of credit to because I love what he does in this movie, and he's well trained and everything that happens. And it's the monkey from Phenomena.
Oh my god!
He's freaking great. He kills the guy with a...
That's the only one I've got on my list.
What? See, he's great. How do you not have him? He's amazing.
But I was laughing at your setup for it because I'm like, oh my god, is he going to go into this much detail about each fucking animal, or is he just going to list them? And then you said the monkey and Phenomenon. I'm like,
he's gotta give him all this credit. You don't really have to give him that much credit. He's a fucking monkey.
I'm sorry, I will not interrupt. It's a great fucking monkey. I agree.
Guys, witness it here. The first time 2 skunks are talking about monkeys.
So yeah, he's a great monkey. Of course, we have Black Phillip.
He's a great monkey. That's gonna be, that's 2 years from now. Brandman is gonna post. He's a great monkey. Dave Z, episode 128.
I always love the stuff that people find funny. Yeah, because it's random shit, and Ramman has the most random shit, but it's always funny.
It's always funny because I remember the things being said, but I can't remember the context. It's always just so funny.
He's the guy to ask. People say, what's your top 5 funniest moments and memories, and I forget about them, and then Ramman knows them better than we do. We experienced them.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what I said the quote was. That's a great monkey?
Yeah, that's a great monkey.
That's a great monkey. Episode 128. Dave, dude.
Anyway, that's why we should have that commercial, and we splice little things we're saying in there, and that could be a line we drop. That's a great monkey. You know what I mean?
That's a great.
Because who would think to hear that? Anyway, okay. Number 2, Black Phillip. Gotta have Black Phillip. Oh, come on, he's the greatest. That came from my wife. I almost forgot about him. She's like, "How did you forget about Black Phillip?" I said, "Oh my God."
I totally forgot about Black Phillip.
I can't believe it. It's your buddy. My God. And okay, I'll tell you the 2 that my wife said right away. She goes, well, the first thing she said, I asked her, what would be your top 5? And she says, well, the first thing she said, she goes, well, church. I said, yes, of course, church, because he's great. He's a black cat. He's good before he's dead and when he comes back. He's a great cat. And then range. Cujo. Yeah, it's
such a range. He's great, dead or alive.
And then Cujo.
Yeah.
Of course, because he's everything he does in the movie is pretty badass, but he's a sympathetic character as well, especially if you've read the book. You do feel bad.
And he's a great method actor, that dog. I mean, he followed someone around with rabies for months beforehand, really diving into the role. He's the Daniel Day-Lewis of St. Bernard's.
He's in my left paw.
How many?
My left paw.
A monkey's paw? Shit. See, now I fucked up. Now there's 2 that are here that she told me specifically. How could you forget that one? So I'm going to say, I guess, well, what I say, 4 already? I guess 5 is going to have to be the what do you call it, dog, from The Omen, the German Rottweiler. I always go on about them when I watch that movie. It's part 1 and part 3. He's great when he's a kid and he's the guard dog. And later on in part 3, he has them and they're badass. They're like guarding him. They're sitting next to his chair. They're so intimidating. They're so cool.
Olaf, I think is his name.
That would be the other one. And she said, Olaf?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. Why not? He's German. He's German. And then she said, well, how could you forget about the dog from Suspiria? I said, oh, yeah, that freaking dog, the one that attacks his owner. That freaking dog's great.
During this time where you're like, honey, who's making breakfast? I'm just kidding. But
she knows me. She knows the animals I love.
That's great. I just wanted to throw a little
she knows it.
Horrible humor in there. Stereotypical humor.
It's great.
That's correct.
And I have to, and my honorable mention are cats. Because I wanted to have a lot of cats on the list. So initially I wrote them down, but then she swerved me on the other ones because she knows I love them. But the cat from Hell, because you got to admire his survivalist. He's freaking, they keep trying to kill him. They hire a hitman to kill him. He does all that stuff, and at the end, he comes out of the fucking guy. And from Tales from the Dark Side. That's a great cat. And then,
he put a lot of effort into this. Holy fuck. It's a lot of effort.
I do what I can.
I didn't even know if you were going to go with real animals. I thought you were going to throw like a Bruce in there.
No, I didn't want to do that. No. And then, his actual, I had to look it up this morning, getting back to how this started. I said, what's the name of the cat in Dr. Sleep? And I looked it up, and it's Azrael. But they call him Ozzy. But it's short for Azrael. Remember, you know what Azrael is. It's the cat from, what do you call it? The Smurfs. Gargamel's cat. Azrael. Yeah, that's crazy. But I guess Azrael actually means something, like in some other language, like in German or something. It means like, I don't know, cat from hell or something like that.
Kill the Israelis.
Azrael. Another name for the angel of death. That's what it means. Oh. So, there you have it. And I'll stop right there. All business here, huh?
Oh, I only had 2. Because I didn't put near as much effort.
Okay, I had 8.
Oh my God.
I made up 2.
I mean, I could have just named off animals and movies, but I mean, the one that stuck out was the monkey fucking phenomenon. And of course, it's got to be a B's list too. It's Davey from fucking Demons 2 because he's been on the show for the last month and a half.
I forgot about fucking Davey. How did I leave Davey off?
How did you leave him off?
You left Davey off?
Oh my God!
I forgot about Davey. Fucking love Davey. Davey might be making an appearance later on now. You know what it was? I was thinking about films like I was thinking about like Night of the Lepus, frogs, shit like that, and I'm like, what movies were the animals like? No, seriously, because like, how can frogs be terrifying? They're not terrifying, but in the movie Frogs, they were terrifying.
Yeah,
like even
in Magnolia, they're
when there's a
terrifying.
million frogs in there, it's really not that scary. Yeah, well, Magnolia, yeah, they're just gross. Like that old guy's sitting there, he's gonna die because nobody's there to take care of him, not because there's 20,000 frogs in his house. They're not gonna fucking croak him to death. But I went with, speaking of monkeys, I went with Shakma.
Oh yeah.
I you know what? I think Shakma's an underrated film. I think that monkey is just fucking brutal. And man, you think people are safe? You're like, oh, okay, here's a main character, here's a big star, Roddy McDowall, the lead girl in the film, and everybody is just fucking murdered right off the bat. Like nobody is safe with Shakma. So. I love
It's funny.
it.
I showed my mom this, and she thought the same thing. In fact, she was a shockma because, like, she. I'm sorry, that was the worst joke I think I've ever made on the show. I apologize.
I got a worse one.
I used to give her the shockma. Isn't that what they call it? When you finger a monkey? When you finger blast a monkey? The shockma.
The pink one and the stink of a monkey. The shock.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
I'm gonna make that monkey shines.
What about that song? Do you think Peter Gabriel got his song from this movie? Shockma the monkey.
Yes.
Jovi got it. Shock for the heart and your too. Oh gosh.
That's fucking brilliant. Better than my shock ma joke. Sorry.
Look, I know it's, and this feels like a cheat because it's not really a real gator, but like I think I love this film so much. And Rogue, the gator, is the star of the film.
Indeed, yeah.
What's his name?
So Davey. It's Davey.
Davey the gator.
Clovey. Burning Bright. I don't know if you guys have seen this film about kids trapped in a house with a tiger. They used a real tiger. The tiger steals the fucking show. It's an awesome,
Tony?
An awesome film. Yeah, Tony.
Wow, Tony. Tiger style.
Tony is a tiger. Fuck, I gotta add Black Phillip to the list because fucking I can't believe I left him off. It would be cheating to use the shark, to use Bruce because he's not real, but of course Bruce is the star of the film. And number one, Thor from Bad Moon.
Oh yeah, he was a good dog. You're right.
Thor was a great fucking dog, and
You're
probably the only reason why I really enjoyed that film. I couldn't tell you anyone else who's in that fucking film except Thor.
What about Beauty and Beast from Hills Have Eyes 1 and 2?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those are good ones.
Yeah.
Just occurred to me. But yeah, Thor is a good call. I forgot about him. He does a lot of stuff in that movie.
Yeah, Thor's badass.
Yeah.
He works out a lot too. He's always Thor.
Oh, Mamma Mia. Okay. What else did he say here? Sorry. Roberto. Top 5 winter movies. Now, not just him. A few other people said top 5 Christmas movies. And we're not going to do that because we've done it in the past. And last year, and I'll probably get to this, who asked us last year to do it because it's in the other thread. But we were asked last year to give our top 10 Christmas movies, horror and not horror combined, and we did it. So what I've learned through this is that nobody that's listening now listened to our shows from a year ago and prior. or they just have bad memories like us. But
yeah, well, look, if you told me to do a top 10 Christmas movie, horror or not, right now, it would be different than last year because I couldn't tell you what I told you last year. I don't even think I can come up with 10 off the top of my head. But I did top 5 winter horror films.
Yeah, that's what I did too. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, for me, let me see. Did I put number 5, Misery. Number 4, Black Coat's Daughter. Number 3, Coldplay. Coldplay,
but they were all yellow.
Lights will
Coldplay.
Coldplay. Oh my god. Cold Prey. Number 2, The Shining. This was the tough one to decide between 2 and 1. But number 2, The Shining. And, of course, number 1, The Thing.
Oh.
Awesome.
Yeah. I mean, we've never reviewed Misery, but we've reviewed the other 4. And, yeah, so...
Sure. Now, my list is like a 5. It isn't, I don't like one, this isn't saying that I like this movie better than this one. This, to me, represents winter the most, and it's something I have to, when there's a snowstorm, these are the go-tos. So this isn't necessarily in order of, you know, how I feel about them. But I'm going to say number 5, Krampus, just because of when they're outside and for that 20 minutes that are spent, it's so freaking authentic looking to me and scary, and it's dark out there and they're in solitude. So I think that's great. Krampus. Then you have Frozen, you know, on the ski lift. That always freaking wakes me out. You know, The Shining, of course. Nothing else needs to be said about that, or The Thing. The Thing, I mean, it's winter, it's isolation, it's great. And my number 1, easily, the most overlooked movie, especially when it comes to winter movies and Stephen King movies in general, even though it's a miniseries, but Storm of the Century. That movie, amazing, and the perfect movie to watch.
Still
if
never
you're ever
seen
inside,
it.
There's a blizzard outside or anything, and you have a couple.
I've never seen it.
It's fucking awesome.
I know people really talk highly of it. It's gonna be on my short list of films to watch after we're done with the year end.
Please do. If you get like a snowstorm, do it then, because it's all atmospheric. You know, it's so cool. So there you go.
Pretty anticlimactic because it's pretty much a combination. But 5 was February, Black Hood's Daughter. 4 was a Coldplay. I did exactly what you did. Cold Prey. But because I liked, if you remember when we did the show, I actually liked 2 more than 1. I'll put them as a combo pack because they kind of go hand in hand and they both have that atmosphere. Then 3, Krampus, 2, The Shining, and 1, The Thing. Pretty much, you can't go wrong with any of those options. Storm of the Century's on the short list.
That must have taken you hours to come up with that list.
I hate you. No, because I don't try not to overthink it or think at all.
That's okay. Do the best you can. I overthought.
I was overthinking it too, and you just was like, "I'll just take 2 from him and 3 from him."
Well, no, I did have a lot of those on there. Then I just stole the last one.
That's okay. We're letting you go last because of what you said earlier. You know, you didn't have him all filled out. He's had a bit of a rough week. He's been a little under the weather, so it happens. If you're gonna do any show, this is the perfect one to do for that. You can just hang around and crack wise and just be Christian, and that's all you got to do.
Just be Christian.
I'll just be Jewish.
I'll be Buddhist. Okay. Okay, top 5 horror movies of 2020. That's not going to happen yet.
Yeah. Next show.
He's making a joke.
Christian almost started.
Yeah, here it is.
Huh?
You fucking skunk. It wasn't about to start.
Right now.
Am I breaking up on your end? Because I've noticed. Am I breaking up a lot or something? Because I've noticed every time I speak, there's like about a 2-second gap before you guys talk.
You're a little slow, like your mouth moves, but then it comes after, so you're a tad bit delayed.
I always thought you were just a little slow, so I didn't think it was anything.
I am a little slow.
He says, "I am a little slow," and 2 seconds later, "I am a little slow" comes out of the mic.
Yeah, it's great.
I am.
That's weird. Why?
Hey.
Don't look at me.
Hey.
What the hell's wrong with him?
Hey.
Oi!
That's what it's like. You're mouthing the words, and then the voice is coming out. Hey.
Oi! Did you ever see A History of the World Part 1? The Mel Brooks movie?
Yeah.
When they're doing the Inquisition, and they're swimming, and there's a Jewish guy swimming on top of like a Hasidic Jew, and the guy pulls him under the water, and he opens his mouth, and then the bubble rises to the top, and it goes, oh!
There's a lot of good. That's not a very well. That's not as respected as some Mel Brooks movies, but there's some great fucking. That God gave me these 15, these 10 commandments. I think is one of the best gags. It's so funny.
Awesome. It's a top 25 all-time movie for me. How about that?
Wow,
I fucking
okay.
love it. I love that movie. Yeah, History of the World, amazing. Okay, top 5 candidates to replace Brandon and or Christian.
Was that
Thanks
that
for not
Finnish
saying
fuck?
me. No, that was Roberto. He had a bunch there, so sorry.
He's still on this
Good
fucking
question.
Roberto?
He's on here. Yeah, he's still here. Thank goodness.
I love the
Thank
pause.
goodness for
I
Chef
love the
Boyardee.
The pause is like when you're going to like, and now we're going to cut to Christian Luciani in Canada for his take on the storm. Oh, thanks, Ben. How are you today?
Well, even though I'm hearing you fine, your mouth is not matching up to the words I'm hearing. It's
Yeah, I
very
feel like I'm
strange.
watching. Right.
I am
feel like somebody's
I am a
watching you like
Korean
puppet.
film.
I feel like I'm watching the end of Dead Silence.
Oh. Okay. Debbie, top 5
Oh, we're not
personal
answering
top 5. Not today. No. We're not answering it. We're never replacing you guys. Can't happen. No.
I was
Okay.
Yeah,
Nope. No time for that.
I had answers for
Okay,
that one.
Debbie, top 5 personal. Okay, Okay, we're not doing personal shows. We've already kind of answered. Okay, Stu Watson, Christian's favorite Watson. Okay, top 5 favorite Christmas horror. Oh, okay, we've done that. Top 5 winner. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Top 5 2020 horror films. He's asking the same questions that Roberto asked. I thought I was reading the same thing twice. Okay, hold on. So he's just answering the same things. Top 5 favorite of all time, aka What to Have with You on the Desert Island. Well, top 5. We did our list of top 20 on that one episode. So, I mean, I have my big 3. Freaking Halloween, Exorcist, Shining, and then Friday Part 2 and Suspiria. Boom, there's my 5. Although I'll tell you what, The Witch is making some moves, people. But anyway, I'll leave it at that.
Mostly head.
Can you rattle off a 5?
Well, Dawn of the Dead, The Thing, Psycho, Videodrome, and oh fuck,
Friday the 13th.
yeah, Friday the 13th, the original. It's got to be, but there's so many.
There is.
Yeah, fuck. Exorcist, The Thing, Silence of the Lambs, Fright Night, Carrie, and Faces
Nice.
of Death as an honorable mention.
Just the box.
Just the VHS box. Yeah, just the box. So I have something to cut up on the island.
Oh, shit.
I'm gonna eat the fucking box.
Eat the box.
I'm gonna munch on the box.
Okay. Indeed. Okay. Sticking with Patreon, Shelby asked 5 funniest. Bleh.
Five funniest lists in podcasting.
Are you making fun of me?
Love that Christian's just fucking
Sucker and second time.
frozen. He's a fucking...
Okay. 5 funniest deaths. 5 funniest deaths.
I
B,
like this one.
What's that?
I like this one. This one's a good one.
Go ahead, B. Do it.
Okay. Tucker and Dale versus Evil. I didn't go with the wood chipper guy. I went with the guy who gets impaled on the stick because I just think it's so funny that he thinks he's being chased and he actually passes. I'm not sure if it's Tucker or Dale, but he actually passes. He runs past them and then he looks back at him. I
Really?
don't know why. Yeah, he's being chased, but he actually passes him.
That's awesome.
It's a
Okay.
really funny kill. Garbage
Awesome.
Day kills, just classic hilarity. The boy in the sleeping bag in the Prophecy, the Killer Bear movie.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
okay, yep.
That's
The
fucking
explosion.
hilarious. Yeah, that's hilarious. Grizzly at the end of Grizzly. The Grizzly death at the end of Grizzly. The first time I saw it.
Bazooka?
Bazooka from 10 feet away. And he
Yeah.
fucking explodes into 20,000 pieces. And The number one funniest kill, never a kill I thought was funny until we started talking about it over and over on the show, and I'm sure other people thought it was funny. It's Ben Tramer.
Yes, it is.
It's Ben Tramer. He gets hit by a police car going 250 miles an hour and fucking explodes into a ball of fire.
Oh my
it's
God.
just, it's so funny.
Oh. I never even thought of that. That is
amazing.
That is great.
Oh, it's my number one as well, Ben Tramer. Of course, everything about it is hysterical. It's great.
I think that's the only reason I think it's funny now is because of how much you've talked about it. And I'm like,
The after, before, during, and after is all fucking hysterical. Is it him or not? Everything is great.
Wow, I didn't even really go the accidental humor route. I think I went the just pure. They were going for laughs almost. That's great.
no, he went the giant Band-Aid from Dr. Giggles.
No, I didn't even go that. Yeah. I pretty much just named movies like Street Trash, pretty much anything from that, but specifically Toxic Avenger. I think his name is Frank, the guy that gets his arm ripped off, and then it's subsequently beat with it. I mean, at that time, I thought that was the funniest thing ever. That whole Mexican restaurant scene is hilarious with the overtop deaths and everything, and it just makes me laugh, and I got a shit-eating grin on my face. What's with the shit-eating grin? He's always got a shit-eating grin on his face. What's he laughing about? 10 out of 10.
Awesome. 10 out of 10. Indeed. Is that all you got?
That's all I got.
I didn't know if it was 5.
Pick any 5 deaths from those 2 movies.
Yeah, pretty
Okay.
much.
No, that's fine. Okay, all right. My number one is the same. It's Ben Tramer. Of course it is. How many times I'll tell you, the Halloween franchise has 3 on my list. And 2 for 1 movie, so I may as well just go into it. Halloween 2, Rob Zombie's Age 2, when he's killing that stripper, when he freaking Michael's in the strip club and he's banging her head against the fucking thing over and over again. It's fucking hysterical. I can't believe how many times he does it. Oh God! But the best one is of course the nurse from H2, Rob Zombie. When she walks out and all of a sudden, she yells and her fucking throat slit. So Michael,
look at Christian's face. He's like, none of these deaths are funny. These
No.
are tragic. Was that Octavia Spencer? Was that Octavia Spencer's death?
It's hysterical. So Michael walked up to her, slit her throat. She walked away for about 30 seconds, and then see somebody and screams.
I find Dave finding it funnier than the kills itself.
I know.
When we were in the theater, my friend Scott and I burst out in fucking laughter, just the way I'm laughing now when that happened in the movie. Oh my God. Okay. Well, I also had Garbage Day on there because not even so much that he says Garbage Day, which is the big joke, but just the fact that he randomly shoots a guy taking out his trash. The poor bastard. He just, his last thoughts are like, what the fuck? Why?
That is funny.
Oh my God. And of course, there's another one. That kid that dies in the movie Clown that we talked about last year. Remember when the kids knock Mr. Clown at the hotel room and he's laying back trying to kill himself and the fucking thing slips and the saw blade goes across the room and kills the kid.
That was this year.
It's fucking great.
That was this year.
Yeah.
That was a pretty terrifying kill, but the way hearing you talk about it makes it funny.
It's funny to me. I can't help it. So there you go. Top 5.
I'll add the toboggan scene in Silent Night, Deadly Night. Everybody overlooks that movie. That movie to me is funny and not scary. And Silent Night, Deadly Night toboggan kill is absolutely hilarious.
That's going to come up later on one of my favorite vacations when I went to Trinidad and Tobago. Fuck, I butchered that joke.
It's not as bad as me lisping before. 5 funniest.
5 funniest things.
Just because
Okay,
you brought up Halloween 2 and some deaths from that, we just have to do a shout out because I mentioned I was going to say this in the last show and I didn't. But Kuno did the stunt cut of Halloween, the remake, and I really enjoyed it. Like, it really does take almost everything from the prequel part out, and starts exactly where I think it should have started, where little Michael kills his family. The one thing I will say, if I had to critique his cut, even though he did it out of the kindness of his heart, is that I do still like a lot of the sanitarium stuff with Dr. Loomis. I just don't like anything with Michael talking. So he managed to do the opening justice and cut out all the school, the bully, the killing of the animal, the white trash shit, and just focus on that. But I would have liked a little bit of the sanitarium thing to bridge the gap from him going in. So really, his cut is like a definitive remake of the original. Like, just the Rob Zombie
and he
style.
shortened the final chase.
And to you, sir, we say, Kuno Matata.
See, my problem with the end part, I will have to add, I'll have to ask Kuno, I get very confused of how that whole ending works. I've seen the movie numerous times, and I still never remember it. It always just seems to drag on, no matter what cut of the movie I'm watching. Yes. So I'd have to ask Kuno exactly what he cut from there. But the whole opening just flows much better because it cuts out all the bullshit. But I definitely would have liked some, like, sanitarium shit.
Kudos to Kuno.
Kudos to Kuno in the skunt cut.
And I love.
Did you call it the skunt cut?
Maybe because I meant skunk, but I probably said it fast. I do that a lot on the show. You fuck.
Okay, well, skunt. I mentioned it last show. That's what I call my friend Scott all these years. Skunt. You know what I mean? And we talked because he called Scott Missile or fucking Scott Farkas last week. That whole discussion. And,
that whole discussion, the discussion of you being wrong all this time. That was the discussion.
It wasn't just how many people were saying the same thing. They got that it was Scott. Matter of fact, when I watch it, I'm going to record that line when he says Scott Farkas. What a awful name, or whatever the hell he says. What a crummy name. It sounds 100% like Scott. Anyway.
It's Skunt Farkas.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Okay. Steve says, I absolutely love to hear you guys talk about some non-horror movie documentaries that you found really disturbing. Examples for me are Larry Clark's Bully and The Bridge, a documentary about suicides on the Golden Gate Bridge. That's really hard to shake. Well, I know we spoke about that one. We had to talk about it.
The Bridge is fantastic. Very disturbing, but a fantastic documentary.
Really?
Yeah. Filmmakers set up a camera across the ways from the Golden Gate Bridge for 1 year, and it documents all the suicides that took place during that year.
Damn. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
I watched that Christmas Day.
Well, there was that one we talked. Nice.
Frankie Z, the bridge and faces of death today. Get your cocoa and your jammies on.
Real death. Santa brought real death this year.
Oh, man. I love Bully, by the way. That is a favorite of mine. I've always loved that movie since the first time I saw it. And, I mean, the fact that it really happened, it's pretty crazy. But what was it when we talked about the most disturbing documentary? That was some shit this year. Alex, or whatever the hell it was called. There's something about Alex. What the hell was that shit called?
Dear Zachary.
Dear Zachary. Sorry. Okay. What the fuck did I say, Alex?
There's something
Alex.
about Alex.
Don't make a Friday film.
Isn't there a movie called We Have to... Unbelievable. Isn't there some movie though, like the truth about Alex, or We Have to Talk About Alex, or maybe Kevin? Sorry,
Kevin,
Yeah.
We need to talk about Kevin.
Which is not a documentary.
I haven't
No.
seen it, so what do I? Okay. I never saw it, and I don't know what else is disturbing as far as we talked about.
There's
movies.
a documentary called The Act of Killing, which is really disturbing, and a documentary which is really more of a. It has a lot of dramatized reenactments because there's not a lot of documented footage, but it's called Dreams of a Life, and it's quite odd and disturbing about a woman who is found dead in her apartment in England. She was in her apartment for 3 years, and nobody checked her. Her electricity was still on. Her TV was still on. She started wrapping presents. She died, and nobody checked on her or found her for 3 years. And it just really, really stuck with me.
Who's she wrapping presents for then? Like
Right,
nobody.
Exactly.
That's crazy,
Exactly.
man. That's
Well, she gave a shit about them. They didn't give a shit about her. That's the saddest part.
That's the whole point. It's like how somebody can get lost in sort of in the world today, even though she had friends and people who cared about her, but like everybody was always just like, oh, she moves around a lot and stuff like that, and she had an interesting life and stuff like that, and it gets into that. It's really good.
I don't get how her mailbox wouldn't be overfilled. That's would be 3 years. That'd be a giveaway.
3 years. Rent.
3 months.
Rent for your apartment. She was living in an apartment complex 3 years before the smell overtook the place.
Yeah, but what about her mailbox?
I figure by 3 years that smell would be gone by that point. You'd figure like the first 6 to 8 months, and then it would probably just dissipate until you open that door.
I could smell your skunt.
Farkas. Okay. Okay. D asks top 5 Empire Full Moon Charles Band productions.
Oh my God!
That was 5? Tough. I had to go and look them.
Yeah, there's 2. There's only 2.
Yeah,
That's it.
There's only 2. Well, there's a lot of Empire.
Well, that counts. Charles Band, Empire, Full Moon, right? It's all the same, no?
I actually do have a list. As I make a joke for that, I will say, because it was. I'm trying to cut one out, so that's why. Okay.
I had to cut one too.
You
No.
Get to this list this week?
Well, no. The reason with it is, I like this last one because I remember it just being so goofy, but it was fun. And it's Doll Man versus Demonic Toys as my number 5. I'm not saying it's good, but I'm saying it was. I remember liking that back in the day. So that was number 5. Number 4 will be Dolls. Number 3 would be Crash and Burn. If I'm correct on that still being an Empire one, I'm almost positive for Full Moon one. Then From Beyond, and of course Reanimator. So mostly Stuart Gordon films.
No, that's
basically,
cool.
Yeah.
All the Empire for Empire. Like I broke it down. I did Empire 5 for Empire. I did 3 for Full Moon because literally I can only find 3 that I liked, and then I just gave an honorable mention to Tourist Trap because Charles Band produced it, even though it wasn't. I don't think it was released by Full Moon.
Not, I don't think so.
No.
But that's a good. That would
No,
be on there.
I don't think it was. But I gave it a shout out. Full Moon. The only 3 that I was looking at the list. The only 3 that I even like on there was Head of the Family, Demonic Toys, and Castle Freak. And then for Empire, same thing as you. From Beyond, Sorority Babes and Slimeball Bolorama, Crawl Space, Dolls, and Reanimator.
Nice. Okay, well, here's my 5, and maybe I think that they all count, but if I'm wrong, tell me. But I had to ultimately I had 6, and I ended up having to cut 1. I ended up cutting Castle Freak, but the 5 I went with are Puppet Master, the original, because I am a big fan of it. I really enjoyed it when I saw it. Intruder, Dolls, From Beyond, and Reanimator.
Intruder?
Yeah, those all count. Yeah, Intruder was...
Intruder the Slasher?
Yeah.
1989, yep.
Oh, that would be on my list then, for sure. I didn't know that was an Empire film.
Yeah.
I didn't either until I started Googling and stuff, and that's what I came up with, so cool, right on. Okay, I like the idea from Robert. I like the idea of stepping outside the horror realm for a couple of the lists. Some suggestions would be top 5 foods, bands, bucket list destinations, the first thing you all want to do once the pandemic passes. Will there ever be an Exploding Heads meetup at some point? Mix it up a bit. Exactly.
There's sooner be a meetup than a movie.
Yeah.
Right. That'd be the only meetup we could have is if we could get to make this freaking movie. Right. Especially, but the way Canada is now, the way Buffalo is now, forget about any of us going anywhere. I don't know what's going on in Jersey, but I mean, we're out of control here.
Yeah, Jersey's terrible. Like 6,000 new cases yesterday, something like that.
It's fucked
Dude,
up.
We're so
getting
bad where we are right now. Western New York, where I live, right now is as bad as New York City was in May.
Yeah.
Think about that. That's how fucked up shit is here right now. It's ridiculous. The highest it's ever been.
We're not nearly as high as you guys, but comparatively, population-wise and whatever, it's getting up there, and our numbers are definitely higher than they were when we were
Everybody
locked down.
heard Everybody heard vaccine and just went out and started living life. Like, you got to get the vaccine first, idiots.
Yeah, and hope it works.
You dumb
It doesn't
fucking
have side
skunks.
effects.
Yeah.
Right. My God. Okay, top
That's
5
why.
foods.
Wait.
Okay, here's
But
mine.
while we're on it, and again, not political, but that's why you use Alabama as a testing zone. Just give it to the people in Alabama. No one will give a fuck.
Right?
Is it safe? Is it not? Well, actually, we wouldn't know if it's not safe because everybody would go, well, I just fucked my sister. And then you'd be like, I don't know. Do we go to town with this or not? Like, they will not know if it's ready for mass consumption.
Alabama.
Yeah.
Right.
So maybe not Alabama.
Rainbow, Alabama.
Maybe Texas. I just fucked my mother.
Oh, Jason Lloyd's in Texas. Don't say that.
Do we know if he fucks his mother or not? How do we really know if he fucks his mother or not?
I don't know if he bangs his mom, but there's definitely something up between him and that bearded dragon. He's got a bearded dragon. He brought it on the trivia, and I said to myself when he brought it on the trivia, I was like, he's definitely banging that thing.
Awesome. Bearded dragon. Nice. Okay, so here we go. Foods. Here's what I got. I had a big 4, and I couldn't decide on the 5th, so I had to go with something. It's true. Because I was thinking of the top echelon foods. And the 5th one I just thought about. I said, you know what? If I was going on a desert island or something and I had to choose this, I actually chose my number 5 is McDonald's French fries. They got to be fresh. I only have them once a year.
A nice salty snack on a hot desert island. That won't.
Water.
Drinking the
water. Yeah.
Drinking the ocean water in 15 minutes.
The fries are saltier than the fucking water.
I do wipe the salt off. I will tell you that. I get the napkins that come with them, and I clean them off because it is too salty.
And he asked for extra salt first. Let me get French fries with extra salt, and then you get them and you wipe the salt off. I like extra salt, and then I wipe it off back to regular salt.
They're delicious, man. Fresh ones. Oh my God, piping hot. They're the most delicious thing. They're up there. They're the 5th most delicious thing. So I went with that. What did I do with my notes? Okay, number 4 would be lasagna. I love lasagna. It's got to be made by my mother though, so there's a caveat to that.
Over here.
Number 3 would be lobster, which I absolutely love. And to go along with the lobster, surf and turf. Number 2 would be steak and filet mignon, let's to be precise. And number one, believe it or not, is pizza. I'm sorry, but it's pizza. It's the one food I can never quit.
How could pizza not be on everyone's list? Have you ever met a person who doesn't like pizza?
Not one that I remain friends with.
What about French fries? Doesn't everyone like French fries?
I love French fries. It didn't dawn on me to get that specific and be like, you know what? If I'm stuck on a desert island in the scorching heat, let me get a nice, refreshing bag of McDonald's salty French fries.
And Jolly Rancher cherry. Give me a fucking endless supply of them, and I'll be fine forever.
Jolly Ranchers.
Cherry, though. Oh, my God. When I was a kid, I used to say that I hoped when I got older, because I was still a kid, I said, I hope pussy tastes like Jolly Rancher cherry. That's what I used to say.
Boy, were you disappointed.
I want to make a spray.
No, you take the powdered Fun Dip and you pour it.
Oh, that would be great. Oh, man.
It kind of tastes like a Jolly Rancher dipped in fucking cow shit.
Cherry Fun Dip is great, man. Oh,
dipped in cow shit. Oh, God, dude. Oh my God.
The only thing I eat that tastes like cow shit is mushrooms.
I love mushrooms.
That wasn't on your list.
Picking mushrooms, my number
Is it on your
5.
pizza?
No, I'm just kidding.
Well, yeah, if they're trippy mushrooms, that'd be the only way I could do it, yeah.
Alright, my 5 foods. Meatloaf. Fucking love meatloaf. A good meatloaf. It's gotta be a
Bad out of hell. Yeah.
Number 4, chili. These really aren't in any order. Fucking love
Chuck
chili.
and chili?
Chuck and chili and fucking meatloaf. Bad out of hell. Chili.
Shelly's dead.
Number 3,
Thank you
Shelly
for
Donut. No, I was just kidding. Shelly Donut. Shelly Donut.
Great.
That's pretty good. I mean, literally, that was off the top of my head because you did Chuck and Chili.
Brilliant.
No, pizza, sushi, and it's funny that you mentioned Jolly Ranchers because, like, my 5th food was just, it's very broad, but I put sour candy. I'm a fucking sucker for anything sour.
Ooh,
I
you
am
ever eat
too,
those
man.
Sour,
The what? The sour straws?
sour punch straws? Those
I love
strawberry?
those.
Oh,
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
There's
I've
that
never
nice
had
one.
those.
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
they're
man.
illegal in Canada.
well, you got Canadian. You got Canadian candy. You got fucking Smarties and Aero bars and.
Yeah,
all
those are
that
the
other
sour.
shit. I
He
know.
got those on the Arrow sale. in
You know,
Canada.
I
You get
left-
Arrow bars.
I left sushi off the list, which is almost criminal because I love it. So
Yeah.
thank you for reminding me of that. But it's not on my list. But I probably would have to substitute something with sushi because I don't know if I could go without it. But I do love sausage. I don't care how that sounds, but I love
Italian?
it. I love Italian sausage. I love all type of sausage, but Italian specifically, and typically a little spicy. But I'll eat it all. Oh,
You like it when
the
somebody
kibasa-
chews it for you and
Yeah.
sticks it right into your butthole?
Yeah, I love it. This is the one that probably, if I had to, this is a comfort food, but no question, like it could easily be substituted for sushi, which is chicken soup. A good homemade chicken soup, like my wife, I love it. Pizza, steak or prime rib, either or, love it. And then eggs. I can't go without eggs. I love eggs. I have them almost every day. Eggs.
It's
Wow.
so weird. Eggs, I'm very up and down with eggs now. I used to love eggs. Now I love certain types of eggs. I could eat hard-boiled eggs all the time.
Oh God, never.
I love
I love hard-boiled. I love soft-boiled. I like eggs pretty much any way you can make them.
I like to
Wow.
Yeah.
Robin laid an egg. Yeah. The only egg I can eat has to be an egg that I cook because it's got to be fucking. I got to break the yolk and it's got to be fucking fried well done. That's the.
I've been putting on.
hard.
They say eggs are healthy, but I put on so much weight. Is it bad eating Cadbury eggs every day?
Cadbury Easter cream eggs. Yeah. Oh, speaking of Cadbury, well, it's not really a Canadian
Speaking of
thing.
Cadbury.
I was gonna say Canadian is Cadbury, but I think that's what's that chocolate company in Canada? That's a big one. See,
I don't fucking know.
who makes
Hershey?
the Aero bar?
The Arrow bar.
I don't know. I mean, I do know, but I'm not off the top of my head.
Cadbury. It is Cadbury, I think. They come from Canada. Cadbury. Either way, I was watching Black Christmas 1974, and when the Christmas Carolers come, they even though they're children, they have that Canadian singing voice things going on. Oh, come on, ye faithful.
Fucking Canadian
Nestle.
choirs. The fucking
What is it?
choirs.
Nestle. I can't believe I
is
forgot
Nestle?
that. But yeah, Nestle. You said Cadbury,
Okay.
but that.
Nestles, Nestle's makes the very best chocolate. Dave, you remember that one?
Jesus
Yes,
Christmas.
I do. Awesome. But what about those singers? Next time you watch Black Christmas 74, watch when those kids come and they're stereotypical Canadian singers. Oh, and they're children. It makes no sense, but listen to them. It must have been.
Christian is so mad at the
He
Canadian
hates
choir
it, but it's
jokes at
true.
this point.
No.
He's just
Watch
like,
Watch it and see. I'm telling you, watch 74 when they come to the door and listen to their voices. I'm telling you, it doesn't make any sense. Anyway. All right. Top 5 food. Okay, we did foods. Top 5 bands. Oh boy, this one.
This is hard too, man. Holy shit.
I've had the
mean-
same top 6 forever, and I can't cut one. So it's been this way for 20 plus years. So for me, it's easy. Now, and I'm gonna stick with 6 because I can't cut. The number 2 and the number 1 are firmly entrenched, and right after that, the next 4, at any given day, could be my number 3. So that's why it's got to be a top 6. So those 4 are Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, The Doors, and the Grateful Dead. There's those 4 right there. Then we get to the top 2. Number 2 is Fish. Number 1 is the Beatles. There you
See,
go.
and
Fucking Beatles.
every band you listed, and I'm not going to say except for the Grateful Dead. It's just I know the Grateful Dead, but I'm just not as entrenched or ingrained with them. But every other band you mentioned could easily be on my list as well, except for Fish as well. I know you're a big Fish head, but that's what I'm saying. But where I'm going with all the other ones could easily round out my top 10 is where I'm going. But same sort of predicament though. I try to take old from a classical standpoint, and then from some of the ones that maybe were the last 10 years or so as well. So, I have 6 because I couldn't knock it down. I'd say Red Hot Chili Peppers, just how long they've been around and how I love their early shit and still love a lot of their stuff from the last decade as well. And
You got the
it's
shit
great.
part right.
Oh, fuck you.
Oh, just kidding. I like the shit.
Red Hot Chili Peppers, Ghost, Tool, Social Distortion.
Yes, you are.
Social Distortion, Iron Maiden, and Rolling Stones.
Nice. Very good.
Yeah.
Now, every time you see a red door, do you want to paint it black?
Yeah. I want to actually just paint this little window black, which is the one that you're in.
No, I won't.
No, I won't do it. I won't paint it black. I won't paint it black.
I am going to have to do a switcheroo
left.
of my location.
I should have left.
So I just want to know
Now?
if this is a good... Yeah, do you want to... Brandon, why don't you finish off your list, or do your list if anybody fucking cares, and then we can move.
I have the Foo Fighters on my list. I have the Beatles on my list. I have the Bee Gees on my list.
Wow.
I fucking love the Bee Gees. I have Fits and the Tantrums on my list, which I fucking love. And my number 1, of course, is David Bowie.
Wow.
That's a great list too,
Awesome.
man. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Right on. Awesome.
I cared about your list,
Did you
actually.
see Bee
I take it
Gees?
back.
Thank you.
Did you see there's a new documentary about the Bee Gees on HBO Max?
Oh, I
It's just-
can't wait. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, we got to do our flipperoo, and
Yeah.
we'll stop this recording. We'll be back for part 2. All right. Let's see where we were. Top 5. Okay. Okay. Bucket list destinations. Do you guys have any bucket list destinations?
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, it was tough for me. But here's what I settled on: Jamaica. Got to go to Jamaica at some point in my life. I want to go to a Super Bowl in a warm area, which most of the time they are played someplace warm. So maybe I could kill. No, I can't kill 2 birds that way because they don't play them there. But another
No
one
Super
is
Bowls in Jamaica?
no, I was gonna say Hawaii, but they do the Pro Bowl there. But I want to go to Hawaii anyway. So Hawaii is my number 3. I want to go to New York City on New Year's Eve to go see Fish play because that's a big thing, and it's as big of a fan as I am of the band. I've never been to a Halloween show that they do because they do Halloween shows, and I've never been to a New Year's Eve run, and I want to go do that, and it's an excuse to go during holidays to New York City. It'd be nice to go there for a whole week, you know. But and number 1, of course, is Italy because I'm Italian, and I think it's a beautiful place, and I really want to go there. So that's
I might tag along since we have some same places on there. I had Hawaii
Nice.
and Italy both on my list.
Sweet.
Fiji. And the only reason why is every
I know
time
why.
Why?
Because the weather. It's the only place in the world where the weather is always between 73 and 88. It never gets too cold or too hot.
Oh, well, that's an added bonus. You know what? The reason why I always say that, every time I watch a game show where they give away a trip to Fiji, the promo they play for it is always insanely beautiful. Like more beautiful than
water.
any other. Yeah, than any other trip I see that they give away, mainly on Wheel of Fortune.
It's also extremely expensive.
Scotland, as a golfer, I want to go to the birthplace of golf and play all the golf courses in Scotland, St. Andrews and stuff. And number 1 would be Antarctica because I got to find the thing.
Nice, man. Mine was, funny enough, my number 5, and I did like slashes because if you're going to be in that area, you got to do like, so my number 5 was Fiji, but slash Tahiti because they're both 2 beautiful islands and they're both really expensive, and I'd love to go to both. I think Tahiti's even more. It's ridiculous. So that would be number 5. Number 4, Japan. Fuck, would I love to go to Japan.
That almost made my list
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Number 3, Australia/New Zealand, because I know they're two separate, but at the end of the day, if you're going to be in the vicinity and you're going to do that flight, I'm going to go see both simultaneously.
Might as well.
And then number 2, France, and number 1, England. But again, that would be England, Ireland, Scotland, because again, if you're going to go to England, you might as well do them all while you're in the area. So that's my top 5 bucket list.
It takes so long to fly to Australia. It's like a 22-hour flight or whatever. What if you just went the other way? Shouldn't it be 15 minutes if you just turn the plane around and go the other direction?
Yeah. You go through a black hole to get there. You take like the fly transponder, and then you're just there in like transporter. You're there in like milliseconds. You're missing an arm, but fuck, who gives a shit? Because you're in fucking Australia. I hear if you take the COVID vaccine, and suddenly you teleport to Australia. It's one of the benefits.
The only problem I have with Australia, I would love to go to Australia, but the only problem I have, you ever see the creatures they have there? The insects, deadly, like you literally, like I wouldn't be able to sleep at night, like with a window cracked. Right. I'd be like, "This is a good chance I'm gonna die. Something's gonna crawl in here, bite me," and there's no,
an Aussie
anti-venom for it.
You know the best part of this thing? We all had fairly unique top 5 lists. Not one person mentioned Finland. Fuck that Finnish fuck. Finland. Fuck that Finnish fuck.
I picture Finland. I picture Finland as being someplace that's not warm. I don't know, but that's just what I picture.
I picture it like it is in rare exports. I think that's Finland that they're in rare exports, where you're all living in little huts and you're warming up beside like a fucking old wood burning stove. Put another log on the fire, Daddy.
And that's the one and they have a giant Santa.
Yeah. Frozen in carbonite.
Yeah, I picture cold and I picture whales for some reason, like the animal a whale. I can see the.
No, the women are much more beautiful there. Oh, you meant actual whales? Sorry, these jokes today. I'm not on my A game.
No. Unreal. Okay, so that's that. And Shelby asks. Oh no, hold on. Sorry, Robert also has one thing. The first thing you want to do once the pandemic passes. And for me, that's easy. I want to go out to a real nice meal.
I want to cough in public. Can't do it now. Got to cover it up with a fart.
Yeah, there it is again. I agree. There's nothing crazy that I want to do. Because if I say travel, I'm going to be eating my words because that's what I have to do for work. So I'm not necessarily looking forward to it. It's going to be a stark reality. So I'll just say go out for a nice family dinner.
Yeah.
Without the family.
Solo. Yeah. And by nice, I mean
Table
McDonald's.
For one, please. Table for one.
Big Mac, extra
What about you,
sauce.
I don't know. I don't know what I want to do.
No, well, I think about it to the end of the show.
I want to go back to work. I really do. I mean, it's been.
You'll never hear me say that. Fuck work.
I enjoy it. School's fun.
I enjoy nothing about leaving my house. Well, I shouldn't say nothing. I enjoy unless it's a fish show or out to dinner or to the movies. Yes, I don't hate the fucking movies. Sons of bitches. I love the movies. I just like the option of having the option. I'm all about having options. Anyway.
Love the option of having options.
Yes, I love it. I'm all about options and choices. It's a good thing for people. Okay, Shelby asks favorite rom-coms. I don't think I have any. So I don't know. Off the top of my head,
comedies.
I don't have an issue with rom-coms. I don't have an issue with them.
I didn't get this memo.
I don't remember that one
either. It just
either.
came last minute. It came late last night.
Okay, well, I'm going to try it.
I didn't know if anybody would really have any, because I honestly can't think of it.
I love romantic comedies. I'm going to see. I'm just drawing a blank right now, but I'm going to...
Did you watch Holiday, by the way?
No.
I had to watch it. Emma's in it. We watched it, my wife and I liked it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'll watch anything with Emma. Absolutely. I don't really know any rom-coms that I can think of off the top of my head, so I decided not to really sweat it. You know what I mean? But I don't know. What can I tell you?
Coming to America. The Wedding Singer.
Rom-com.
The Wedding Singer.
I think of them as like Notting Hill. Notting Hill. Every time someone says, "What's your favorite rom-com?" I think Notting Hill. Hugh Grant.
Fucking love Notting Hill.
Yeah.
In and
You know
out.
what's good? As good as it gets. That's a great one.
That is good. That's a unique one as well. That would make my list as well. That was one of the first DVDs I got. I think it was like The Thing
Nice.
and As Good as It Gets. And it might have been reversed because I think I was gifted As Good as It Gets.
Then you sold it.
Wow.
Pretty in Pink.
Yeah, I guess that counts. Okay, I like that too.
Yep, definitely Notting Hill too. I like that. Something
Never
About
saw it.
Mary. 16 Candles. Guess anything John Hughes. Oh, fuck. Harold and Maude. Probably my favorite rom-com of all time.
I never saw that. I never saw it. So many. Wow.
And Arthur. Also probably my favorite.
Oh, I guess
Oh.
that constitutes as a rom-com too. Okay. When I think of rom-coms, I think of like something different, I guess. But when you get right down to what those movies are, I think of cheesy things like fucking like Hella Date, like I was just talking, just like you know what I mean? I don't think about those classics like you're saying, like Arthur and 16 Candles. I picture them as just regular comedies and just
I don't know if-
love interest thrown in.
That would be like
I don't
teen comedies or something like that. I think those were like the teen comedies that were not the Porky's style, where it was about kids getting laid. It became the John Hughes era of teen comedy. Romantic comedy, I think of like the Notting Hills and the Love Actually and stuff like that. Like that, it seems like a subgenre unto itself.
Annie Hall.
Yeah. Annie Hall, never saw that either. If the
Well-
Grease movies count, then that Grease 1 and 2, there's kind of romance involved. You know.
You guys
If my
are
wife was
pleased.
here, she'd be able to rifle off 5, no question. And I'm shocked that I'm drawing a blank at 5 in total, but Notting Hill always seems to top my list. I could always pop that on and
It
enjoy
sounds boring.
Notting
The
Hill's
title
great.
bores me.
It's
Notting
so
Hill.
good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
It sounds boring. I thought it was a drama. Like Mary Riley or some shit. It was just a boring sounding movie. to me.
Mary Riley went to Notting Hill and took a nice long nap.
High Fidelity. That's another
Doesn't it
great
just
one.
sound boring?
High
I never saw
Fidelity
that,
might
but
be.
I would.
That's with Jack Black and oh fuck,
John Cusack.
John Cusack. I know.
John Cusack.
Yeah.
Right. That's what
He
I was.
still didn't know after I told him. I'm like, John Cusack, like, John Cusack!
No, I was like, no, I was more that I couldn't believe I forgot his name. But
What about Clueless? Would you consider Clueless a rom-com?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I like Clueless. You know, here's a movie I love. It's kind of a chick flick. It absolutely is a chick flick, but I love it. It's called Mermaids. You know what that is?
Yeah.
with Winona Ryder and Cher.
Yep. Yeah, and Christina Ricci.
Moonstruck, another.
Never saw it. I
Rom-com.
do like Cher, but I
You would
never
like
saw-
you. Would, I feel like Dave would like Moonstruck.
Is he an Italian in that movie? Is that the one?
Nicolas
Yeah, with
Cage is
Nicolas
the
Cage,
Italian
yeah.
too, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I probably would like that. Wow, good. We got more
Well, here's-
talk about rom-coms than I thought we were going to. Okay, here's a message we got on Patreon because I'm about to leave Patreon and go to the Facebook page. But we got a message this morning, and I have to read this because it's funny. Drew sent us a message, and it says, "I'm sorry if this is a dumb question, but what movie is the You Broke My Glasses from?" You thought it was a movie. Isn't that great? So I said, well, we'll tell you the story on the show. And it's not from a movie. It's from something that actually happened. So what I did was I pulled it up here. And there's a story about this. Republican Greg Gianforte body slammed a reporter. Something happened. Some guy came in and he didn't like what the reporter was doing. And that's basically it. And I'll play it here. This is what went down. Oh, it's going to be an ad, fucking YouTube. So give it a second. But anyway, I heard about it somehow, and I cracked a joke, said that something happened on this show, and I did it to somebody when they came in, and it grew to what it was. But hold on, here it comes.
And we'll talk to you about that later. Yeah, but there's not going to be time. I'm just curious if you have the opportunity. Please. But you got it. Sick and tired of you guys. The last time you came in here, you did the same thing. Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. The last guy did the same thing. You were the guardian? Yes, and you just broke my glasses. The last guy did the same damn thing. You just body slammed me and broke my glasses. Get the hell out of here. If I could get the hot up here, I'll call the police. list names. Hey, you got it. He just body slammed me.
That's my favorite part at the end. He just body slammed me.
I think you do it better. I think you do a better impression of that guy than that guy does.
He just body slammed me and broke my glasses. Yes, he just broke my glasses.
I got a question from Jim K, and I couldn't answer it. So I said I'd reach out to you guys, so I figured now would be a perfect time. Excuse me. He says, hey, Luch, question. I've seen Jason 9 a million times, so Jason Goes to Hell a million times, and I still don't get the Mahoney joke. Am I missing something? And I said, I'm not sure either. When was it made? He goes, right after they blow up the Mahoney joke. He goes, right after they blow up Jason, some say that it's so funny, but don't explain the reason why they think it's so funny. And I think it's when they blow him up. It's like, hey, Mahoney, get over here and clean up this mess. Is it the actor? Like, I didn't actually research it, but I just thought I'd throw it out there and see if you guys knew what the hell he's talking about.
Are we talking about Police Academy?
Well, that's what I want to know. Is it a reference to Police Academy, Mahoney, and...
Why is it funny? I never thought that was a joke. I never heard that before.
Well, maybe it's a line from Police Academy. Hey, Mahoney, come over and clean up this mess. And maybe they just totally copped the line from that, but I don't know. So he asked, and I thought I'd try to get an answer.
I never knew there was a thing that people talked about. Hey, Mahoney, come and clean up this mess. Only Mahoney I know is Father Mahoney.
Or come up and clean up this shit.
Yeah.
Father Mahoney.
I never knew that was a thing. I'm kidding. I didn't know that people talked about that happening in that movie. So, damn it. I wish I did know, but I don't. Yeah, maybe it is a joke from Police Academy.
Yeah, first FBI agent. Good shooting. Mahoney. Now clean up all this shit.
Weird. Okay. I wish I had an answer.
Sorry, Jim. No help on our end.
Yeah.
Maybe there's no joke there. Maybe it's just good shooting, Mahoney. Now clean up this shit.
And people think it's that funny?
Right?
Maybe they think it's funny because Mahoney just killed Jason, and his reward for killing this thing is clean up this shit. Maybe it's funny, like in the moment, like you just destroyed, evil.
My glasses.
Clean up this shit.
They find that funny, but they don't find the coroner munching down on Jason's heart hilarious.
Oh, it is hilarious. I cracked up the first time I saw it. Yes, same thing. That is a funny scene. No question about it. Yeah, wow. And that one scene from Dusk Till Dawn, when he holds it, I thought he was going to bite into the heart. When he tore that guy's heart out and the guy ran at him, and he turns around and he holds it up, I thought he was going to bite into it. Anyway, Liz wants us to know that the traditional symbol of the 5-year anniversary is wood. So this
Break
is
out, Junior.
I'm sporting it right now.
Speaking of Junior, somebody said something about it. Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
Somebody said something.
Yeah. Stop referring to
it. What did it say? Oh, top 5 times Dave has brought up his unit. Okay, that's what it was.
His unit. Unit's a funny word.
I wasn't staring at his unit. Did you ever see Neighbors when they say that in that movie? Oh, you got a new neighbor, huh? One whose unit you could stare at? He says to his wife. I wasn't staring at his unit, she said. He goes, give me a break. I know when a woman is checking out a man's unit. Vic's wife, that Ramona, she was doing it to me, he said. Anyway, more about that later. Okay.
That's a good movie.
Oh, it's fucking amazing. Top 5 horror films. Christmas, da-da-da-da-da. Okay, we've already done that. Possibly top 5 hidden gems. Oh, I forgot to send us that one. So Brandon already has his show, or oops. We'll talk more about those next week, I guess. Eric Webster says bleached assholes, Canadian commercials, and Dave's dick. Okay, so my dick's in the mix. Let's see. I'm just kind of flying down what everybody said on the thing here. Okay, Gary did it. Okay, Gary said, to everyone asking for lists, last year I had them do their top 10 Christmas movies, all genres, and then their top 5 Christmas horror films for that episode. It already exists from last year. So there you go. Topanga says, tell us some funny behind-the-scenes classic moments. What movie scared someone that was not scary at all? Who jumped during a scene that wasn't scary? Who got so scared from a movie they couldn't sleep? Which movie you didn't want to see but turned out to be a favorite? The only one I could definitely answer is a movie that turned out to be my favorite that I didn't want to see was Suspiria. The remake, of course. Yeah, as far as that other stuff, it's hard for me to answer, and it's nothing I could send to these guys because it's something we all had to come up with. But behind the scenes moments, I don't know. What you see is what you get on this show. It's no different.
Unfortunately,
from the mics being on or off. It's the same shit. Nothing ever crazy happens. The worst thing that ever happened is me throwing a temper because my shit's not working right or something. Or well, Christian threw a temper last week, and that was the first time.
And that's the reason why my audio was fucked. Because when we switched it, I must have hit something on my microphone, and it cut my mic levels way down. And that's why the YouTube version was fucked. I thought I put the leveler version on, but I didn't. So there's the answer. So thank you to Ram Man, Jill, and Chris, a.k.a. Scott, for pointing that out and bringing it to my attention. I didn't fix it yet, but thank you.
See falling asleep is a pretty funny behind the scene. especially because I'm like trying to talk into the mic to wake him up, and Dave's like, I told him not to fucking drink a bottle of red wine.
Yeah, I do scold these guys. I scold Brandon a lot, but I think it's on camera. I'm like, damn it, B. I do. I scold him. I shouldn't do it, but I do. I scold him about certain things he does, and like when he's trying to fumble with his camera or his sound, I don't want to mention it because he gets real fucking OCD about it. So anytime anything's happening on Brandon's end, I don't want to say anything because sometimes it leads to fucking catastrophe, and then we're delayed for an hour. Although I delayed us the most ever the one time because I didn't know to look in the fucking right email on the year-end show where my Skype was fucked up and it took 3 hours to start and.
Remember when you deleted your notes?
I forgot.
Oh, man.
That was useless. You're right.
Yeah, you were like, might as well not even do the show. Might as well just retire. Remember the time Christian needed a week off and you're like, let's just end the fucking show. You do flip out sometimes. Christian's like, I can't record this week. It's like, we might as well just wrap up the show now.
Well, I think that it got delayed like 3 times. Something was going on.
Yeah.
It was just a cherry on top or a piece of shit on top. And it was like, now this is going to happen. Oh, well, fuck it. Maybe we should just wrap it up. That's how Christian looks right now. He wants to wrap it up. Look at him.
Like, I'm not feeling very good. So sorry. I just quiet. But that's okay. Let's keep going.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll fight it. John Rose, top 5 episodes, top 5 Christmas flicks. We've done them. Top 5 reasons Christian sucks.
Fucking Marco. That's got to be the Finnish fuck. Oh no, it's John Rhodes. John Rhodes, yeah. He's a prick too.
The bottom 5 picks for you. Okay, Paul says top 5 non-horror films. This should be interesting.
I thought we've done this before too. I thought we did it before as well.
No, we discussed doing it, but it never came to fruition. But mine are easy. I can tell you my top 5. My number 1 is actually. See, the thing is, I could say it's weird because I could say 2 movies, and the other one I could say like more than. If it's on a franchise or something, I'm just gonna pick one movie. So I'm gonna say number 1 is The Godfather. Although it may as well be tied with Godfather 2. That's 1 and 2. That's the top for me. Number 2 would be Natural Born Killers. Number 3 would be I could say Star Wars, but I'll just say Empire Strikes Back. I'll just put the top one out there, and then I could say Goodfellas. Number 4. And the number 5, I'm going to cheat and have a tie. It's Belushi and Aykroyd. I'm going to say The Blues Brothers and Neighbors. There you go.
I always struggle with this freaking list. I always do. I have 7 listed here, and I don't want to cheat. So I'm trying to figure out how do I whittle this down to the top 5. It's damn near impossible. I love them all, so maybe I'll just say them all and cheat. But Brandon, if you have a definitive top 5, I'll let you go first if you want.
I have 6, but really
good.
one is just like a hidden gem I discovered. But mine's Harold and Maude, Ninth Configuration, Once, Hedwig and the Angry Inch, and Judgment at Nuremberg are my 5 favorite films. And a hidden gem I discovered last year when I was doing that movie challenge, just watching a million movies, is from 2011 called "The Music Never Stopped," and so I'll give that as a shout out because it's a gem.
Awesome.
Nice. Very cool.
Mine are very generic, I think, then in comparison. And I'm not going to, there's no particular order. They're all there. So it's Raiders of the Lost Ark, Train Spotting, The Empire Strikes Back, Scarface, Back to the Future, Rear Window, and Blowout. And there's still so many fucking others, as we all have, because we're all movie buffs and whatever. But, I mean, that's as close as I can narrow it down. And there's still, I feel like, leaving off some amazing, well, obviously, movies.
Oh yeah, I can rattle off like 15 more. Maybe we'll do it again another show. We'll just say these are some honorable mentions. We'll just throw them out there for fun. That'll be some. Okay, Jill, top 5 favorite memories looking back at the show and becoming friends. That's we won't even be able to answer that, and we don't have time.
Friends.
It's so. That's a strong word.
We'll let you know when it happens.
Yeah.
Here's a funny one. Well, it's going to be funny with my shit. Top 5 favorite things to eat over the holidays. And I struggle with this. So that's why my answers are going to be funny. So for me, the number one thing over the holidays to eat is my mom's Christmas cookies. No question. I love them, and I hope that my daughter and my wife learn to do it that way for when she's not around sometime. We're still going to be able to do it, The number 2 is toast. Italian bread toasted with butter, because I only have it once a year, and it's only on Christmas morning.
Wow. Christian, you know why this guy only has toast once a year?
It's true.
That's crazy.
I do find it funny.
I know. Well, there's certain, like, I only have McDonald's French fries once a year on my birthday.
On a desert island.
They're reserved for holidays. Everything has a holiday with it. That's how I do it.
That's how you stay disciplined, man.
It's got to somehow, right? Number 3 is whatever pasta my mother's gonna make or whatever, ravioli, lasagna, any pasta at all, any Sunday dinner throughout December, anywhere I go. It's not happening now, but I gotta have pasta out there. This is gonna be kind of funny, but cheese and crackers, because in the holidays, Italians usually have these things out there with different meats on them, and then they have like cheese and cracker things on their table and all this stuff.
Like a charcuterie board.
Yeah, something like that. And I like to drink wine and have cheese and crackers with that wine. So it's just something I like to do, and it's a holiday thing. And then number 5 would just be nuts, just those holiday nuts that you only get around holiday time. So there you go.
I mean, at the end of the day, there's no surprises here. And that's I like.
Funny.
Honey, what day is it? Only 189 more days till I get to have toast.
That's fucking crazy. I mean, obviously all the usual shit that you'd usually have, but the nuts and the oh my god, antipasto tray, a dish of cold cuts and mixture of stuff that I look forward to. It's not like we just have it at Christmas, but I look forward to that as well. And that's it. If I ever go to my uncle's, which we wouldn't be going to this year, we don't go often, but one uncle, if he makes lamb, and it's phenomenal the way that they do it, him and his wife. So, but that won't be this year.
Wool on or wool off?
Wool on, yeah.
Or wool light?
Yeah. I should send you to him to get for a barber. He'll trim you up real nice.
I need a fucking shearing.
And then serve you for dinner.
My holiday foods are like Jewish foods. Brisket, matzo ball soup, macaroons for dessert, banana cream pie for dessert, and then I went completely away from the Jewish holiday staples that I usually have on the holidays, and I went straight to Halloween, and just something I eat usually during Halloween time and not the rest of the year for some reason, but candy corn. Fucking love candy corn. And I find myself only eating it in October.
The only time you can get it, isn't it? For the most part.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you could probably, order it off of Amazon or something.
Yeah. Probably like Cadbury cream eggs. You can only get them around Easter. And that's their slogan. But when Easter comes, because when he's gone, they're gone. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. That fucking rabbit.
What does your wife walk in when you're doing that?
Yeah, I know, right? Totally. Okay. Ram Man, top 5 albums, any genre. I don't know what that means exactly, but top 5 albums. God, let me tell you about music. I can talk about. I am more into music than I am into movies. I could talk about. I wish I could have a podcast. I could just talk about different decades, the 60s, 70s, 80s, up until 2000. By the time 2000s come around, early 2000s, I'm out of it. I don't listen to anything about it. I just don't like music nowadays for the most part. But I love music so much, it's ridiculous. So I could just talk about fucking music eternally. So it's tough for me to make a top 5 albums. But
it's weird. It's tough for me to make a top 5 albums because as much as I love music, I never been much of a collector, a buyer of albums because I've always been somebody who just like, not to sound lame, but just really just likes the hits and stuff. I never listened to like entire albums through. If I had to list albums that I would listen to through, it would be something like Pet Sounds. It would be Sgt. Pepper's. Obviously, I mean, this is kind of cheating, but 2 of my favorite films are musicals, so I would go with the One soundtrack, and I would go with the Hedwig soundtrack, and then if I had to pick like a David Bowie album, I'd go with like Hunky Dory because it's got Life on Mars on it, which is one of my favorite songs. So,
great song, nice.
Yeah.
It's tough. Now I know Christian's a real big music fan, same as I. So,
yeah, I can't narrow it down either. Be a mix mash of everybody that we just listed in the favorite bands, and then of course then there's multiple albums from those bands, and then I can't. It's so difficult.
It's tough.
Yeah. It's a great question, but I've never actually whittled it down.
Oh, wait, I have 5 Taylor Swift albums. Oh, wait, that's not my list.
Yeah.
Sorry, Phil.
Well, it's weird. If I legitimately went top 5, there's a good chance that it would be all Beatles from Revolution on, Revolver on. It'd be like Revolver, Sgt. Pepper's, The Magical Mystery, White, and Abbey. It just might be those 5. But I don't want to do that. And if live albums were included, I could pick my favorite live Fish albums and put them there. So I cast all that aside, and I said not more than one album per group. So I did come up with the top 5. That's, I guess you could say it's definitive. But my number 1 is the Beatles' White Album. No question about it. My number 2 is Pink Floyd The Wall. Number 3, Downward Spiral, 9 Inch Nails. Number 4, Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness by Smashing Pumpkins. And number 5, It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back, Public Enemy. That's the 5 I settled on.
What the hell's a Public Enemy?
But man, I could talk music forever. I'm making a thing right now for my daughter. Like I'm trying to pick the top 25 albums of the 90s, and I want her to listen to every one of them.
Dude, you need to. You know what? You need to watch the movie I recommended as a hidden gem called "The Music Never Stopped." Just add it to the list.
I know of it.
Okay, yeah. Just put it on. Just stay aware of it, and when you get free time somewhere down the road, watch it. Because music plays a big part in it, particularly the Grateful Dead.
Yep, I know all about it because of the Grateful Dead. Right?
It's a fantastic film.
But damn, yeah, I could just talk it. I could just keep going on talking about music and albums, and there's just so many. And all those albums that I mentioned, I'm not exaggerating when I say that. Not just them. There's some other ones too that I went straight years listening to those albums every day of my life. Like I listened to the White Album and The Wall and Downward Spiral for a year straight, each of them. Every day of my life I listen. I really get sucked into them. And it's just, I'm weird with my music. And like, you just look at everything I listen to now. Like I can tell you, like last week I listened to like 3 Depeche Mode albums. Then I listened to Super Unknown from Soundgarden twice in a row. Then I listened to freaking Method Man to Cal. Then I listened to Bjork Post. And then I listened to, what the hell did I listen to last? Whatever the hell it was. Alice in Chains Dirt yesterday. I'm just all over the place all the time. Whatever strikes me, I just do it. And then I have like playlists and everything else. And sometimes I'll listen to Fish for like a month straight. I'll listen to one Fish live album and I just won't be able to stop listening to them.
Who are you, Aquaman? Stop listening to the Fish.
I'm nuts. Okay. Oh, shit. Okay, Abraham Ram again. Top 5 Blumhouse films. Boy, this was hard. When I looked it up, I had no idea how many Blumhouse films were actually great. I was like, holy shit, this is a Blumhouse film? So, it was tough, and I actually had to settle on these 5. I had like 9 though, but I ended up settling on. This is in no order. This is what I just have written down: The Purge, Insidious, Lords of Salem. Okay, I went more. Sorry, this is 7. Get Out, Sinister, The Bay, and The Town That Dreaded Sundown.
Literally,
shit.
almost entirely my list. I went Insidious, Sinister, The Purge, The Bay, and Creep, and then I gave 2 shout-outs for this year. 2 films that, I mean, they could come up next week. They're not on my list, but they could be on yours. So, but 2 of the Blumhouse films from this year that were released straight to Prime, called Black Box and Nocturne. I thought were both excellent.
Nice. Yeah, fucking Blumhouse. And they did all the Paranormal Activity movies.
Yeah,
You know,
I left Paranormal Activity off. I left Lords of Salem off.
And there's another one too that, let's see, if Christian doesn't mention it, I'm surprised that it didn't make your list, but I'll be some more surprised if it doesn't make his. And I didn't realize that it was a Blumhouse.
I didn't do it. I'm sorry.
That's okay. All right, well, don't worry.
Shame.
The movie I was gonna say was Hush. That's a Blumhouse film.
Oh yeah, Hush.
Oh man, there are a lot of great movies out there. From them.
Really, there is more than I thought. Huh. And Jerry Herring, copy us and do 5 remakes, reboots you want to see. And that was a real good episode. I listened to they after some time away, they just came back on Kill the Cast, and that was an interesting listen. So I thought of 5 movies I'd like to be remade. I've been saying this for years. The Funhouse, I think, is due for a remake with a better atmosphere, just a better overall slasher. Maybe even Rob Zombie doing it, I think, could fit right in. Let's see. Needful Things, because I think it's a great premise for a movie. The devil having the shop and having those curious goods and doing his thing. And I just don't think the execution of that movie
I don't think I've ever seen Needful Things.
It's not that great, but it's too bad because, like I said, the premise I think is awesome.
Yeah.
So Needful Things, Audition. I think I've always said it. I think an American remake could actually do it good, and I think they can make the third act unfold a different way where it's not like the dream state. As much as I love that movie, I think that they could make it a little more straightforward, flashback style, some other way. I would like to see that. April Fool's Day, I think, would be a good movie to remake. Maybe not with the exact same ending, but I was thinking maybe there could be killing going on and somebody thinks they're playing a joke, but something else happens and there really is somebody there that's a killer that is doing it for real, and then somehow it ends in a clown.
April Fool's Day almost made my list, and I can't even say it. I want to recommend a 2020 film to you, but I can't even say the name of it because I don't want to spoil anything. Because obviously, this film, when I watched it this year, I'm like, holy shit, this almost feels like a modern day April Fool's Day. But you can't advertise that because obviously you'd be spoiling everything. But it was a 2020 film, and it's so good. And at some point, I'll sneak it in a recommendation to you when you forget about this conversation, and I'll tell you, oh, well, you guys got to check out this film, and it'll be an honorable mention. I'll sneak it in next week.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So who's got them?
I'll go. Dare I say it? But Jaws.
Oof.
I think it's time somebody tackle it and really attempt to make an epic shark film today. Tourist Trap. Fucking love Tourist Trap. I think that's the film. When I saw that as a kid, I was like, this is terrifying. And I noticed from a young age that it was rated PG. Can you imagine if they amped it up? Like Chopping Mall. Just love the concept of it. I think they could just do a modern version. Sure. It'd be great. Urban Legend, absolutely. Just this is endless urban legends. So I just feel like they could do it and make it darker. And my last one, a film that I feel like any of these, I don't want to just call them artsy directors, but these top directors that we keep mentioning over and over, I think could tackle and do something special with today. Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah, I think that too. Even though I like the miniseries.
Yeah, that's funny. That's exactly who I had in mind.
Perkins, wow.
That's exactly who I had in mind. I think he captured the atmosphere of it fantastically.
Amazing. Wow, That's a great idea. Cool. You got any, C?
I really didn't do this question either. I apologize, but I've talked about it on the show. We've brought it up on certain episodes. I'm like, this would be prime for a remake. And of course, I can't remember any of them right now. So I'm going to go to what I always say, which is Prom Night, an actual remake of Prom Night, not what we got in 2008 offshoot, and Friday the 13th. And I mean with Pamela and Jason dead as a side story, because no one's going to market that because they want Jason, and Jason is the key. So that you somehow have to be able to make the movie marketable, but with Pamela.
And you know what? That's a great idea, and I think they should probably go with like somebody like a Naomi Watts.
I've said it numerous times before. I want to choke the hair off you.
Hey, I've said Amy Steele because she's the only other person to don the sweater.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice. Okay, James asked top 5 horror comedies. This was actually pretty easy for me. I just kind of Googled it, and I thought of a couple, and I had like 2. I was like, who's going to fill that out? And then I went, okay, I go, that's easy. And these are in order. My number 1 is What We Do in the Shadows. 100%. It's overtaken number 2, which for a long time was Shaun of the Dead. Then I go Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Then Young Frankenstein. I am considering that a horror comedy. It just is. And number 5, Evil Dead 2. There you go.
Nice. Cool.
Good list.
I had What We Do in the Shadows also. I had Tucker and Dale. Fright Night, Reanimator, and of course, number 1 for me would be American Werewolf.
See, I didn't count those movies. I'm weird that way. I don't consider Fright Night, Reanimator, American Werewolf, or Return of the Living Dead as horror comedies. I don't know why. I don't know why in them. I just don't picture them as horror comedies the way the other 5 were. But that's just me.
And the other 5 are more laugh out loud.
Yeah,
I see it.
Yeah.
Oh, they're all
consider them as yeah.
Sure. I agree. They're all, everybody's mentions have been great, but I like my number 1's Return of the Living Dead. Number 2 is Night of the Creeps. Number 3, Shaun of the Dead. Number 4, American Werewolf. And number 5, Evil Dead 2. And there's so many left off that list because Reanimator, Fright Night, What We Do in the Shadows has been mentioned. I Love Army of Darkness.
I believe it's Evil Dead also.
Oh. Yeah. I don't know. I have a different idea with comedies. For some reason, I think Return of the Living Dead, like the first 45 minutes is funny, and then I think the comedy just kind of ends. But either way, we don't have time to get into the classification. They just see it differently. I don't know. Okay, where are we here? Only a couple left. Glenn, top 5 horror movie creatures. Okay, here's my top 5. Pumpkinhead, no order. Pumpkinhead, I think, is great. Love the look of him and everything else. He's badass. The Graboids, it's a terrifying thing.
Fuck, man, you've already taken my first 2.
Wow, okay. You're not going to have this one. That big giant thing at the end of The Mist that they look up and it's got huge giant legs. You don't even exactly. But
dude,
it just
that's awesome.
Me.
That's awesome.
Isn't it?
That's Lovecraftian.
Dude, it's just a terrifying thing to think that could happen. The crawlers and the descent. The crawlers in the descent, I think, are freaking pretty badass. And Belial. He isn't really a creature, but he actually is. Why is he a creature? He's supposed to be human, but something about the look of him and what he does. Hey, I don't know.
We're already fucking him. We might as well give him a mention as a great horror creature. I also had Pumpkinhead and the Graboids, and then I went with the dog soldiers. I just think they're fucking terrifying. Again, Bruce Jaws. I consider him a creature, so terrifying. And I wouldn't even know which version to pick, but every version of the Thing is fucking fantastic. So the Thing, it doesn't even matter which one. If you sold like an action figure of the Thing in any of its forms that you see it in, even if it's just a fucking dog, I would still buy it.
Yeah, speaking of that dog, my wife said that to me this morning. She said, what about the dog from The Thing, she told me. And I said, favorite animal, huh? I guess it's an animal. I mean, it just didn't occur to me, you know? But anyway, sorry, C.
Yeah. No, it's fine.
You gotta watch Clark.
I mean, mine are more predictable. I mean, I blend aliens and creatures together. Maybe some people don't, but I mean, so be it. So Gremlins, I love the evil Gremlins look.
Yeah, man.
Predator, I think I just love the costume design on that. Alien or aliens, because when there's multiple ones and 6 suits or whatever, boy is it creepy. And probably the scariest thing about the sequel, which is more action focused, and of course The Thing, any version of The Thing.
I just think it would have been funny if you just, because you were sort of like, oh, I consider this, and then you should have just read your list like Gremlins from Gremlins, The Thing from The Thing, Predator from Predator, Aliens from Aliens.
Might as well have
read it like, dude.
That's amazing. Obviously, the best. The movie's named right after them. You know? Yeah. They're so good that they get their own title, like Pumpkinhead.
Pumpkinhead from Pumpkinhead, Alien from Alien, The Thing from The Thing, Gremlins from Gremlins.
Jaws from Jaws.
Jaws from Jaws. Predator
he is
from
Jaws,
Predator.
though. We call him Bruce, but the world knows him as Jaws.
Yeah, it's
like
Jaws.
What's that shark? Jaws. You know what I mean? But anyway, that's how I say it. Travis TMB says top 5 skunks in horror.
Top 5 skunks.
All I know is of 2. Well, I guess 3 if you can count me. Marco, top 5 things you dislike about Christian.
Jesus.
What a prick, eh?
That poor bitch.
Yeah.
Right?
That's why Vince Vaughn said, go fuck yourself, Marco.
Right? That's what I heard. Okay, number 5. What is the matter with me? Wow.
Top 5 finished friends.
Oh, jeez. Here's from Becca. Here you go. Top 5 candle scenes in horror. Candle scenes, Brandon. I forgot to
I actually researched this. I'm like, and I kept getting horror scented candles. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't want to buy shit on Etsy. I was looking for like any scenes in horror movies that had candles, and I'm like, oh, that's a cool scene. So I came up with Mrs. White dead with all the red candles when she's crucified in the door frame. The red candles adds tons of atmosphere. We recently covered, and it's actually funny, but Charlie Brewster's vigil in Fright Night when he lights all the candles and he's making the steaks.
Oh, I'm gonna jump in and give him one in Friday 2. The shrine for Pamela's head. There's candles there, so that's
my number 5.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. No, that's fine.
Want to jump in and steal any more?
The flammable candle. The scene where he had.
Right.
Great scene.
He burns his ass up. Yeah.
And another one I saw, and I'm like, oh, that's a great scene. The birthday candles on the Happy Birthday to Me cake at the end. Great atmospheric scene.
Bravo.
I think I guess.
Yeah, I put that one off, and I was gonna.
You just forgot Carrie. I put the candles in Carrie. That's it. Only because of you guys talking.
You put the candles in Carrie?
I believe that's how you get the wax out of her.
I was trying to think of a movie where they lit candles and they dripped them on somebody. Didn't that happen in a movie?
Body of Evidence.
It happened in Dogs Don't Wear Pants.
They did it in Bully, actually. I know that. What do you say? Dogs Don't Wear Pants?
Yeah, I rewatched it last night.
I never heard of it. It's a movie?
It's on Shudder, yeah. I rewatched it because it was the first 2020 I watched this year, thinking it was going to be horror because it's on Shudder, and I wrote not horror after watching it, even though I gave it a high score, and then I rewatched it last night, and I wrote still not horror, but still gave it a high score again.
Jeez. Okay, 3 more questions. Dave Parker, 5 best chicken wing sauces, and I got to answer that. I'm from Buffalo, so I mean I got wing sauces, but however, it's almost always mild, medium, and hot because that's life out here. But number 1 actually is barbecue pit. If you can get a place that can do barbecue pit, you're not going to have a better wing ever. They take the wings, they make them up, they throw them in that barbecue sauce, then they put them on a grill.
Dirt.
And dirt, yeah. They put them in a grill. They broil them on there for a bit. Then they take them out of the grill and then put a little more sauce on them, more barbecue sauce, and voila, there you go. Barbecue pit wings, you just can't beat them. And then after that, garlic parmesan. You take the wings, you put them in some butter, some garlic salt, and some Parmesan cheese, and you shake them up. And the best part is the wings stay crispy. Because if you just take chicken wings out of the fryer, they're actually crispy. But usually by the time you get them and you got the sauce on them and it's sunk in, they're squishy. But you can't beat a wing like that. It stays crispy, and it's got or even garlic honey. You get a little honey in there. I'm telling you, if you make wings at home, try this stuff. It's great. And I'm gonna put something over. Try a plain wing and tell me what you think with no sauce on it. Just try it. I know it sounds absurd to some people. Just try it. If you get a fresh wing out of the freaking fryer and it's been untouched, it's so crispy, and something about the skin, it's really good. So those things, and then of course I say mild, and then medium, and then occasionally hot, and that's it.
I like that one of your favorite barbecue sauces was a plain wing.
I just had to put it over.
Hey, Mr. Parker, here's one of my favorite sauces. Try a plain wing.
Don't you have
sauce.
suicide? Don't you have suicide in Buffalo suicide sauce, which is even hotter than hot? Like hot,
Frank's
and
hot.
then suicide.
Yes, Dave's Insanity. If you ever get your hand on Dave's Insanity sauce, get it and try that.
We listen to it every fucking week.
Oh, indeed. Whew.
I'm boring. I don't have an answer because I don't eat wings. I'm not a wing man.
I only do 2 days a year: opening day of football and Super Bowl.
Now, does it coincide with Toast Day?
Nope, Toast Day is Christmas. Every holiday or every event has its.
I love wings, but I'm boring. I literally will go suicide or hotter than hot, typically, unless we're sharing them with the family and we can't do the two sauces and we're just mixing. Then there'll be more the mild style. But we've done. Do you like them breaded, Dave, or non-breaded?
Oh, they're okay every so often to try a breaded one. Yeah,
I like.
That's not a bad idea.
Again,
You
every
bread it
so
with your
often.
toast.
Yeah, once in a while, buttered wings.
On Christmas.
Buttered bread wings. Yeah, buttered toasted wings.
Wait.
I still think that the best
Toast.
top five
Toast.
fucking sauces for wings is a plain wing.
No, I think I was laughing more at the best holiday dish is buttered toast. And everything. Forget the turkey.
For me.
Forget the
He
ham.
just had the funniest
Buttered
answers.
toast.
Buttered toast, and his favorite hot sauce is a plain wing.
There you go.
Oh
I
God.
overthink it, and I
Dude,
still have easy answers.
It's fucking comedy gold. You don't even realize that's what makes it so funny. Is that you're completely serious and it's unintentional.
It's gremlins from gremlins. The predator from predator. Aliens from aliens. And the thing from the thing.
Oh. Okay, top 5 90s horror from George. Top 5 90s horror. I'm lucky because I did a show a few years ago, the summer series, and I had my own list. So it wasn't hard for me to see what my top 5 were. And here's what they were. Number 5, From Dusk Till Dawn. Number 4, Ring, or Ringu, as you might want to call it, from Japan. Number 3, Misery. Number 2, Scream. Number 1, Silence of the Lambs.
Nice.
Yep, there you go.
I mixed it up a little. I threw a sort of like a underrated honorable mention. I put Thesis at number 5, Tremors at number 4, Scream at number 3, Candyman at number 2, and Silence of the Lambs at number 1.
Nice.
And I had Day of the Beast, Lord of Illusions, Scream, and Silence of the Lambs, and I just realized that I only had 4. So if I had to pick a 5, because I do like Nightbreed as well. But again, it's yeah. But there is a few other ones, like you mentioned, From Dusk Till Dawn, and that stands out too.
Just admit it.
What? Just admit what?
The Craft.
Yeah.
It's The Craft.
He prefers the newer Craft. He prefers 2020 Craft.
Yeah.
Oh no.
You know what? Shit. I was just gonna say something. What the hell was I gonna say? Christian, what were you saying? Oh, no. You mentioned Day of the Beast. They just announced a 4K.
I saw that.
Somebody posted that.
Yeah. So
that's what it was.
Sweet. Okay. Here's one. Christine. Top 5 favorite patron listeners. Yeah. We have a bottom 5 apparently. I'll tell you what. I can tell you this. My second favorite. I have a second favorite. My second favorite patron listener is Lucas. He's my second favorite, and all the others are tied for first. Only because he unfriended me and stormed out of a chat because we had a difference of opinion on how wrestling journalism should be done. So I'm just, I'm just having fun. But he
hearing those two words together just makes me laugh. Wrestling journalism.
Don't get me started. Well, there you go. That's the side I'm on. I'm on your side with that. Anyway.
Okay.
I'm not even gonna get going, but
I don't know enough about it anymore, so it's too.
And honestly, I do love everybody that's on the Patreon, even Marco, but he's a number 2. Yeah.
I like Topanga from Boy Meets Girl the best.
Unbelievable, awesome.
It's the same Topanga, right?
Yeah, it's her. Yeah, she was.
It's her.
Okay, George Gomez says top 5 most disturbing films, whatever disturbing means to you, and I have to refer him to.
Yeah,
I know. So we're actually done. We did a top 20. Go back and find it, and that's quite funny because I give my ridiculous Dave Z answers on that show too. That they laugh at me. So, so there you have it.
That's it. I had 3 more lists on here.
What? What do you have?
I had horror locations, horror Christmas gifts, and twist endings.
Sorry.
We already did twist endings on another show, too.
I went non-horror twist endings.
These were non-horror. Go ahead. List them off quick. Go for it.
I got to go with Boy in the Striped Pajamas, Usual Suspects, Primal Fear, Ben X, and Atonement. And honorable mention for Rudderless.
Nice. I love Primal Fear, and it almost made mine. Man, that's great. Yeah, it's awesome. Where are my top 5? I know I have them somewhere. Top 5. Where the hell did I put it? I don't know where I put mine. Son of a bitch. Oh well. You have anything for that, C?
No, I didn't do it.
That's okay. That's all right.
You sound like a schoolboy.
Here are my 5. Horror or non-horror, he said. Okay. So, and I forgot who gave it to, but these are the ones I chose. Sleepaway Camp, Frailty. Frailty on my jaw dropped, literally.
Dude, Frailty is a fucking fantastic twist ending.
Yeah, the Empire Strikes Back, of course. I remember as a kid being shocked. Psycho and Saw. I mean, come on. Saw is unforgettable to me.
Yeah, Saw. I went strictly non-horror, but if I went horror, Saw would definitely be on there.
Yeah, Primal Fear is a great one, too. I'm with you. I watched Usual Suspects for the first time this year and figured it out. I was like, that's what everybody's talking about. I had a telegraph. I didn't know exactly. I go, it's going to be somebody here in this room. It's going to be one of them. I don't know which one exactly. Then as time went on, I'm like, well, it would make sense that it'd be him because he's telling the story. So that's what's going to happen. And sure enough, I figured it out. I'm like, that's the big deal. It's weird. Again, I'm weird. I see shit that nobody else sees, but the stuff that blows everybody else away, I don't see that's obvious. It happens all the time. I'm so backwards. But anyway. What were the other 2? Bucket list, or no, top 5 vacations or something you said?
Horror locations and horror Christmas gifts. Obviously, I don't celebrate Christmas, but I wanted to give a shout out to Heather because she sent me a copy of one of my favorite movies, The Invitation. And even though it's Hanukkah now, it's my Hanukkah gift, but it's Hanukkah/Christmas. So.
I almost bought it. I wanted to buy it so bad I couldn't pull the trigger. That's awesome. I miss Heather. I never get to talk to her anymore like I used to.
Pull the trigger. Buy the fucking thing.
I didn't spend.
Too busy buying $50 copies of Faces of Death.
It's true. I've been spending the extra money on the VHSs. $7 here, $7 there, $8 here. And I said I'm not buying any more Blu-rays for a while, so I'm just taking a break.
Well, it's not going away, and you still have access to it on Netflix.
True. Exactly. I can't ever think of gifts I got. My memory is absolute dog shit when it comes to things like that, and I can't think of too many horror-related things I got. So those questions are never good for me. About
yeah, honestly, the only reason I brought it up is I wanted to give a shout out to her for sending that to me. That was really nice.
That's awesome. She's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was the other one? Top 5?
The last one I had was horror locations.
Locations.
Yeah.
That was kind of hard.
You know what? I'll just say what I put. I put for number 5. I put schools, and I thought of slashers like Black Christmas and Girls' Night Out, Final Exam. Number 4, hotels, Shining, obvious example. Number 3, anything set in the woods, whether it be a cabin in the woods or camping for that isolation feel. Yeah, camp was my number 2. Sleepaway Camp, Friday the 13th. And number 1, believe it or not, I always tend to like films that are set in someone's home. And I think of something like The Invitation. I think of The Exorcist. I think of
Better Watch Out,
even though that's more sci-fi. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I like the atmosphere of it being set in a home.
The Lodge.
Inside.
The Beach House.
I'll take the Beach House over the Lodge, but I'm not a big fan of it either.
I'm big on that. Just when it's just a house and it's just a few people. That's what I like. One of those intimate stories. So that's kind of what I said. It was hard for me to answer. I said the woods, of course. And basically I said anything secluded. But what I meant by that was just more intimate. Just, in some place where they're far out and alone. I put a castle because I think a castle is usually good. I said anything submerged. Anything submerged underwater, like in something, in a submarine or in freaking, underground, even caves, just underground at submersion,
It's very hit and miss for me. The water horror,
it doesn't have to be water. It just has to be something that's not above ground, submerged. Yeah,
I guess. I mean, it's not that necessarily people would consider it straight up horror, but that film Buried with Ryan Reynolds, where it's literally him in a coffin, buried alive the whole time.
I haven't seen it, but that sounds...
Oh, it's a fantastic film, and really, it's like a thriller. Definitely straight up thriller.
Because this is Thriller. Yes. See, you got anything to add to it?
Not anything new. You guys just said maybe space. I'll add space to the mix, but I had woods / camp. I blended the two and secluded, but I love the house idea. Like you brought up the ones I said inside as well to add to your list because there is something about just being terrorized in your own house or in someone's house. Hotel, a movie that I liked this year. I don't think it's going to make my list. I don't think it will. Was Cadaver. People didn't like this movie.
Cadaver too. A lot of people gave it tons of shit.
Yeah,
it was really good.
It was really good, and that setting was great. And that vast kind of, I call it a hotel, but I guess you could say hotel castle-esque. But
very labyrinth-like, and I mean the twist was very easy to see coming. Like I knew what was going on from the instant, but very cool atmosphere and setting for sure.
Yeah, I'm surprised so many people shit on that movie. I really am. Actually, I'm not.
I think I gave it a 7. I think I gave it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah,
people were like, "This is one of the worst films of the year." I'm like,
I noticed that. I'm like, wow. It's definitely I read it a lot. I think at that 7 range, so it's going to be difficult to categorize.
It's been a tough list. I've done more rewatches this year than I have any other year, and I still have probably about a dozen more films to rewatch. Well, I'm really just trying to be honest to myself because there's a lot of films that I rated 8 to 9.
Don't lie to yourself.
So,
damn.
Don't. You're only cheating yourself.
And that's next show, folks. That's what it's going to be all about. Next show. Next time you hear from us, the big year-end show, top 20 for 20. We're actually doing it. Might be done a different way than we've done it in the past, but we will be talking at least those 20 movies on our lists. So, and we just may have a special guest, but I don't want to jinx it.
I try to argue against it, folks, but there may be a special guest.
But it'll be a fun time. So that's that. Not very Christmassy at all about 5-year and top 5s, and that's just fine with me because I am just to the point now. I've been listening to podcasts for like 8 years, and I'm tired of every podcast I listen to. Every year I got to hear about freaking Santa's sleigh from some show. And this is not a knock on 22 Shots. I love them, and it was brilliant. But
they did Santa's sleigh like a week ago.
Just so I always highlight Santa's Sleigh as a movie I'm tired of hearing about, and Satan's Little Helper in October. Just because they're those movies, every fucking podcast has to eventually do it, and I'm just tired of it. How many times can I hear?
What about Ernest? You don't want to do an Ernest horror movie?
No, I don't. But I mean, the listeners are different. Maybe I'm an unusual listener. I listen to so many different podcasts that I can only listen. I'll listen to Friday the 13th till the day I die. That movie really interests me. But a movie that to me is like a 6 or a 7, it's just there. And it's just like, okay, there's some funny moments, I guess, that I can talk about. But like a Satan's Little Helper or like a Santa's Sleigh, it doesn't excite me in the least to hear about those movies.
I remember nothing about Satan's Little Helper. I saw it once. And I remember absolutely nothing about it.
I own the DVD just because I'm in love with his sister, because I think she's absolutely stunning. And I want that on physical in my house. How about that? And I only got it for $1 at Goodwill. So I said, okay, I'm going to buy it for her. That's how that's why I did it.
$1, why not?
Yep, exactly. So that's next show. And and then big things are coming. And then we'll be having our fun for the next shows after that. It's going to be back to the old school. And then show 135 is going to be our next big show after that, because a show 130 to 134 is just going to be us doing our new and old and having some fun. So we're really looking forward to the next show in the next year. So, boom, we made it. Anybody want to add anything before we get out?
No. Enjoy your holidays, everybody.
And
thank you.
Yeah, enjoy your holidays.
Absolutely. Yes. Enjoy your holidays. Thank you. We love you. And we're going to be out.